Hey, this is Chase Sexton. You're listening to the MotoXpod show.
What's up, you guys? Jeremy McGrath here. You are listening to MotoXpod show.
Welcome back to another Vital MX MotoXpod show. We're having some technical. Can you hear anything?
I can hear you.
Is it staticky?
No.
Okay. It's staticky in mine.
Yeah, it's staticky in mine too. So, all right, we're going to try to get through this. Welcome back to the Vital MX MotoXpod presented by RaceTech and Yamaha Motor USA. We hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and you guys are ready to enjoy the show. If you're on YouTube right now and it sounds staticky, let us know. We weren't going to mention this, but we moved some things around, made some equipment changes, and didn't. Well, I'm talking about it so we know why. They know why there might be an issue with the sound. But it sounds a little staticky in here at the very least. But we're going to roll with it.
Unmute me. Checker says, "Take a breath, Jamie. You sound just fine to me here."
It sounds good. I just checked it.
All right. I don't know why there's, we'll deal with this internal issue later then. But anyway, with Minios just wrapping up, I thought we'd get a few of the up and coming young talent on the show tonight. Also, there's a big media event going on in California for Monster Energy AMA Supercross. So all the top pros are there. Really, none of the guys were available. The big superstar names were available this week. And I thought, it'd be really fun to have some of the amateurs on. Anyway, it's a good week for it. It's off season. So yeah, tonight we're going to have Yamaha Star Racing's Caden Dudney on, Rocky Mountain ATV MC Red Bear, Kawasaki's Caleb Wood. He is a GNCC kid. He just won the YXC1 title and he races for Stu Baylor. So he's going to be an exciting kid to talk to. And then the former NSA Yamaha rider, Avery Long, will come on. He is one of the top talents in the amateur scene right now and doesn't have a deal. Well, there might be a rumor that we'll talk about. He probably won't be able to give us any details, but there is a rumor that he might have something worked out. But he has really, really struggled to get an opportunity that he deserves with the talent he has. So I want to get him on and talk about that and how that's been probably very frustrating, what he hopes to accomplish this next year. Anyway, but before we get into everything in studio, working the cameras, didn't have any audio in his headphones a minute ago, but that's all good. We had at least made some good pizza. Scotty Thompson.
Yeah, good to be here, man. Glad to be a part of the changes and see the new look. I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna try to continue making some improvements, but also in studio, once in a while, every so often, TJ Smith.
When I don't have a job.
I like it when you don't have a job.
Wow.
Yep, it's always good when you don't have a job. But yeah, good to have you guys in. How were your Thanksgivings?
It was awesome. Like this year, usually I work, and I've worked for Thanksgiving and Christmas for probably the past 8 or 9 years, somewhere around there. And so this year, I decided I'm going to be home, and I'm going to jump in feet first. I helped put out set all the tables up. I did, not with the cooking, but I helped set the food out. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're not doing part of the cooking, then you're not really involved.
Well, you don't want me to do part of the cooking, but
we're all getting Wendy's.
I know McDonald's screwed up by re-releasing the McRib a little too late. That'd have been perfect Thanksgiving meal.
Exactly, but no, I did, and I conversated with the family. I didn't sit around ball.
That's not a word.
I had a really, really, really good holiday. So it was the first time, like I said, a long time I was actually there. So
yeah. Well, that's you, Scotty.
Oh yeah, I don't need to gain any more weight, and I did. So
that ain't no lie.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait, what? No, it was good, man. Spent time with the family, friends, all of the above. Yeah, I ate some turkey. I made the turkey on one of my family's dinners. That was good. Yeah.
Nice.
I enjoyed doing that. It's kind of cool.
All right. Well, I hung out with
Cowboys won. The Niners lost.
Yeah, Niners lost. Dude, it's just not a good year for the Niners.
San Francisco in a snow game. I mean,
well,
what do you
but it's not just that game. They've lost.
Yeah,
I think they're 5-6 or something like that now. They're
almost as bad as the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're just not good this year. A lot of injuries.
No, we're boring. TJ, move on.
I don't care. But see, unlike a Cowboy fan, I'm like, oh, they're going to still go to the Super Bowl. No, that's a bad year. They're sneaking it up.
A bad year.
So, yeah, that's a bummer.
Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl?
No, they're never going to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Easy.
But, yeah, I got to go by my families, and then Amber's daughter came in with her grandson, and they went to my families, and we went to their families. So, yeah, good times.
Oh, and I had both of my kids. Well, technically, I have another... Not one of my kids. We call him one of our kids. All three of them there. The grandkids. Oh,
nice.
Just a great.
Well, I hope everybody else had a great Thanksgiving.
I'm grateful for you.
Is ready for the show tonight. We're gonna get into the RaceTech discussion. And as you guys know, RaceTech is the world's largest aftermarket motorcycle suspension modification company, and they have over 35 years of experience providing factory-level suspension to the everyday rider. If you've heard anything about RaceTech, you've heard about their gold valves, and those things provide a plush feel with drastically improved bottom resistance and increased traction. All RaceTech products are 100% guaranteed, made in the USA. The best thing for you to do is go to racetech.com, find your local service center. They can hook you up, get you taken care of with anything you need, whether it's revalving, heavier springs. Get to know your local service tech, and they'll be at your local track more often than not, and they're all good people. Will help you out. And let's be honest, how many of you guys are probably really servicing your suspension like you need to? Get some new fluid put in there. Get them to service it, racetech.com. And if you need some motor work done, they can help you out there too. So RaceTech is your choice, racetech.com. But this discussion that we're going to talk about, a couple topics we'll get into before we get to Caden Dudney. I want to do a little Vital MX business first. There are some new T-shirts out at Vital MX. There's a large, I think maybe 8 or 9 different prints that are up. So just go to vitalmx.com/shop. You can check them out. If you've always wanted a Vital MX T-shirt, like I know all you do,
it's very vital that you get that for people for Christmas.
It's a great Christmas gift. vitalmx.com/shop. And while you're there, sign up for the Vital MX Fantasy League. We will have a MotoXpod league within the fantasy game again. And this year, sounds like we're going to have, we're still working on it, but I think there's going to be a little betting side of it if you want to sign up for that. It will also, much like some of the other games, it's dependent on where you live, if it's legal or not. But check that out. As I'm not sure that all the information's up there yet, but at least get signed up.
So I like playing like poker and like blackjack and casino games and stuff. I've never really done much sports betting, but especially if Vital has something that kind of helps you through it, I probably am going to start looking into that.
Sweet. Well,
doing some betting on some Supercross, because I feel like it would help me understand I'd be like, okay, why are these that? Because why the riders, like I know the riders way more than I do NFL teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, individually, sure.
I think I would definitely do that.
I got a buddy of mine who's big time into sports betting and stuff. This could be my way to get him into Supercross.
There you go.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. Well, everybody needs to sign up and play, and we'll get the MotoXpod League going again, so we can get signed up in that, and we can all talk some smack. I'm not.
We don't need a game to do that, but it wouldn't hurt. But it wouldn't hurt.
That is true. And don't forget the RaceTech. We're talking about RaceTech in this discussion. Supporting guys like Mike Alessi, Team Solitaire on their engines, and then Arena Cross kicks back off this weekend. The AMA Arena Cross Series in Boise, Friday and Saturday night. Austin Politelli running RaceTech. Yep. I have him. We're gonna do the Arena Cross Series for our EVS picks at the end of the night. A little sneak peek. Austin Politelli might be on that top 3 for me. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
And maybe Doc will make a main.
That's like, to me, like, I mean, obviously I've had some things that have said, oh wow, you're getting older, but seeing J-Law and Alessi race in the vet 35 plus class at Minios, I was like, okay, Chatfield too. Yeah, Chatfield was still race.
Blew my mind when I saw
Brownie
him on the list.
beat all of them. Nobody touched Brownie.
Brownie's the man.
Yeah. He was on is he on a Triumph TM, KTM, or whatever? He was.
No, I think he's on the Triumph 250.
Something happened at like Loretta's where he was like wearing.
He didn't have one available, yeah.
Yeah, so he was riding a KTM with Triumph plastics on it.
We just have the
logos,
the graphics that look like Triumph. Yeah,
that's interesting.
But yeah, so Arena Cross coming up. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they put some of our audio from our show on their Inside Arena Cross video on YouTube.
Oh, I haven't watched
again or
The new one. The one that came out from the first rounds.
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole? Yeah. So we got some pretty good camera time and some audio time, along with some of the other podcasts. But I appreciate those guys doing that.
Oh, it was probably was it the episode I wasn't here?
I think you were here.
Oh,
I think.
I mean, I
don't remember, man.
They took one of my takes last time, so they probably did
I don't remember if you were here or not for that show, if I'm being honest. But just check out Inside Arena Cross. Just trying to do some house cleaning real quick. Well, we can get into some racing stuff now. Did you guys see Star Racing? Yamaha Star Racing signed another kid today.
I did. I saw that. I mean, can I say the name? Because I actually know who it was.
Please do.
It was Carson Wood.
God, I was hoping he'd say the wrong.
No, I knew who it was.
Great. Yeah.
But okay, I did have a dumb moment because I was like, oh, cool, we're having him on the show tonight. And then I was like, oh, Caleb Wood. Yeah.
I saw it pop up in my press release, I was like, what? He's on Kawasaki? That doesn't make any sense. And I clicked. Yeah. So I don't think Bobby Reagan and Star is going to be happy until they legitimately have every rider on the planet.
You want to come around for me?
Is like, I wonder how much we will never really know, but how much are they leveraging their team and their bike as the best to get these kids for nothing? You get what I'm saying?
I mean, that sounds like business.
Like where mom and dad are like, oh my God, you can put him on that bike and that team and he's going to train there. And really and truly, they're getting them for pennies on the dollar.
Right.
I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, when is the last time one of those kids like that really, like, I mean, you've like Romano and Bennick and a lot of these guys, and there's, a couple years removed, like some other guys that didn't pan out that you would thought, like LeBlanc.
Yeah, you just don't know.
LeBlanc is the weird one.
Yeah.
You just really don't know. I mean, obviously, I think Deegan's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that might have been a good signing.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they're okay.
I think we still need to see a little bit more, but
I feel like
get the can of Raid ready. Here comes the bed bugs.
Carson Wood, still pretty young, but them signing Caden Dudney, our first guest tonight, that I think is going to be a very good pick for them.
That kid's
so surprised.
That kid rides good.
Yeah,
he's very
kind of came out almost nowhere in the last couple of years.
Well, not really. I've known him since he was.
You have to the general public.
Fair enough, but like. I just Cowie stepped in, really helped the family out, really did, and I was expecting him to be the next Cowie kid, and I was literally blown away.
We'll see what he says to that when we ask him how that opportunity came about.
Hear.
But yeah, that's cool. And then some other press releases tomorrow will be released for the off-road world. The Cody Webb press release and the Caleb Russell press release should be tomorrow midday.
Caleb Russell.
Yep, Caleb Russell.
Is he racing again?
Maybe.
I
think everybody knows it, but yeah, he's going to be racing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he'll be back racing. That press release will be out midday tomorrow.
That's interesting.
Pretty much everybody knows where he's going, but I still was asked.
I don't care where he goes. It's just cool that he's. I mean, I doubt he's going to go back to KTM.
But look for the news tomorrow afternoon on Vinyl MX.
I will look for that.
I actually did an interview with Caleb, and I did an interview with Cody yesterday. So we'll have
3 seasons since he's raced. 4 seasons.
3, I think
2020 was his last race,
year.
So
21, 22.
That's funny.
So actually 4, yeah.
I must have seen something about him because I looked up when his last year was.
That class could get deep.
It already is. We talked about that on the podcast, and he's very confident. He's like,
it's crazy when you go look at those results. They're like 1, 3, 7, 8, 2.
That's what he said. Like
4,
the consistency isn't there, and he said in the podcast, which again it'll be out on Vinyl MX tomorrow. But he kind of said, like, when I was racing, I only was off the podium like a couple times in my whole career. I was almost always on the podium, very consistent. He hinted at that he thinks he's going to be very competitive.
I wonder how, like, somebody like that who has been very competitive his whole life, what if he goes in there feeling that way because it doesn't look that fast. Like we've watched riders be like, oh, I can keep up with that guy, and then he gets out there and just yards us.
I straight up asked him, "Are you mentally prepared if it doesn't go how you think it does, or how you think it will?" And he's like, "No, not really."
It's a good interview. Everybody needs to listen to that.
Yeah.
Is it a read or is it?
It'll be audio.
So just
cool. Awesome. Maybe some video if we can get some footage of them riding, but I don't think they have any yet. So it's probably going to be audio only.
Awesome.
Just look for it on Vital tomorrow. But yeah, it's big stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
I fall victim to that every time I watch like Racer TV for Loretta's or Minios, and I'll watch like the class that I would have raced. I mean, like I could top 20 that, but then you, like in reality, you get out there and you realize how fast Brownie and those guys and like the top 15 are going, and like,
exactly.
Oh, crap. What did I get myself into?
And then a couple of other press releases that came out today. If you guys aren't aware, because it seems like a lot of people aren't, the final round of the FIM World Supercross Series in Abu Dhabi is tomorrow.
Wednesday.
So you can also go to Vital and find all the information on that.
Fine entertainment for a Wednesday.
There's links to find out race times and how to watch it. But the press release came out today that Phil Nicoletti will be racing for CDR Yamaha, filling in for Caleb Barham, who broke his wrist.
I'm about to say, I wonder who he's filling in for.
Yeah, so Phil is retired, but he's already back racing.
Well, he raced the OzX Open.
I know, yeah.
He's a hired gun.
he can't stay away.
What did he get in that?
No, he can't stay away.
You know what happened is they were like, well, somebody's hurt. Let's bring in somebody who could maybe push what's his name, Freezy around a little bit.
Oh, man, we need to talk about Freezy in a second. We have Caden Dudney coming up in about 15 minutes. And then also with World Supercross, Thomas, and I hope I think it's Ramey. Might be Ramette, but I'm almost positive it's Ramey.
I think it's Ramey is what I've heard.
Yeah, it would make sense. Thomas Ramey is filling in for Colt Nichols, who's hurt his shoulder. He's going to be riding on the PMG Suzuki. So just a couple little news stories, a couple things to look out for.
On that? Like where the teams have to have riders. What do you think about that?
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a scramble, right?
Yeah.
When these guys get hurt last minute. But I mean,
something like that
I like that they got to fill the gate.
Like if you were a team and you come in as a team and you are part of the series, like if they opened it up for the team to be part of the series, you think that'd be a good thing for the AMA?
Probably for the AMA, yeah, but like who would you have fill in for if Jet Lawrence got hurt? Who do you go get?
I mean, they would just bring somebody, but my thought is, would that hurt the riders like, I mean, I'm just using him as an example, like Doc, who is trying to make it in, like would that, I mean, for those rounds, you're in, everybody's in, right? Like, or do they?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that mean, well, no, not necessarily. Like,
they
if
don't
you're talking about AMA,
qualify.
they have to fill the gate, but what if their person doesn't qualify? Because you're saying would they automatically be in?
Yes.
They still have to qualify.
No, what I mean is they don't have like practice during the day to qualify for the night show at World Supercross.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that would, the way that they're doing it, there is no need for that. We have this many teams, this many riders, and everybody's in the night show.
Yeah. I don't like that idea for AMA.
Yeah,
honestly,
I don't like it now either.
Right. Okay. And then everybody, you mentioned Vince Freeze. We saw him take out Dino. Dino's now hurt. Enough's enough.
Did you get?
Dino still rode it out though, and he almost won a main.
Yeah, but
did either one of y'all see more footage of that wreck, or just that?
I've only seen the one that's you can't really see it all.
I'm not going to make a decision. I've seen Freeze do stuff on purpose, and I've seen where guys turn into him and he doesn't.
But don't you? It's just enough. It's enough. Like. At this point, I don't understand why somebody hasn't honestly just physically, other than Weston Pike.
I'm going to say that already happened. And that was the point somebody made.
Off the bike, back in the pits. How is this guy walking out of state? And I'm not saying
that's not the answer.
It's not. But do you know how people react? And I'm just
ban him from racing.
Okay.
But here's
I'm
the
fine
problem
with that too. At this point.
I'm
just very surprised nobody has physically lost it, even if it's like a man friend, like a Dino's best friend or whatever. Like enough. I just am so surprised that nothing has happened. And I'm not saying I want anything to happen. I'm just telling you I'm surprised because we know how
I've watched
tempers flare.
I watched him race, and to be honest, most of the stuff he does to me, except for a couple times where he's cross jumped and which didn't look like it was on purpose. You know what I mean? All of us race.
I don't know how it's all not on purpose.
All of us have raced. Nobody is purposely going, I'm going to cross jump into somebody in the air.
You don't do that.
but my point is, like, honestly, I don't think he's doing anything different than anybody else. He's just not letting up.
It's classic boy who cried wolf. I mean, you get caught crying wolf too many times, and then
who's cried wolf?
Vince is like, you're even if you're not, he may not have done it, but because he's cried wolf so many times,
Okay, because
you're gonna
that's the thing.
think that he had part of it.
I would like to see like a video montage of all the stuff he's been involved with.
I don't think there's enough capacity of gigabytes and storage for
But
that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, really and truly, he doesn't get out of the way. He pushes back. You know what I mean? Unless he did the same thing back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And unless when you say T-bone somebody, he like yeeted his bike into
Yeeted.
right into the side of
I'm sorry, I'm not.
of Weimer.
I don't really know the definition of
not
yeet.
Weimer. Not Weimer.
It's how it
Tickle.
sounds.
Remember,
Yeet.
he just ghost rode his bike into Tickle?
Yeah.
That right there is where you draw the line. But pushing people around in racing, if you start to what's the word I'm looking for? If you start to get like, I don't know, like, where do you draw the line? Because now you're
Yeah, at this point, my line is drawn. I am over this shit with Vince Freeze. I'm over it. Even if he didn't hit Dino on purpose, it happens way too damn much with this guy.
I guess.
And when people are getting hurt, it's just enough, man. God damn.
Who else got hurt with it?
Sorry about that, GD.
But who else got hurt?
In that moment?
No, I'm saying, like, hey, how many times have you hurt
I don't
somebody?
know, dude. This even if this is the first time, it's enough, TJ. The guy has, like, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Not always.
Most of the time. With this guy, there's freaking fire, dude.
Sometimes it's a barbecue.
He's the reason for when California's ablaze. It's Vince Freeze. He did it. Like, enough, bro. Enough.
Well, we'll see. Hey, Arena Cross is coming up this weekend. He'll be there. Big dirt bike guy on the YouTube says that hopefully Vince stays in Arena Cross, and
Arena Cross is the perfect
we'll
place
give him
for
the
him.
business eventually. So
Arena Cross is the perfect place for him, I think.
Yeah, but I don't like a Ryan Brees isn't going to. Well, they're teammates, but I don't think Ryan's going to put up with that. But
Well,
maybe
it's
I'm wrong.
good. Arena Cross is the perfect place for that.
We'll
stuff,
see.
you know.
We'll see this weekend.
I didn't realize this, but the city that they had the Aussie Open was called Wagga Wagga.
Okay.
yeah.
I just thought that was. I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
There's a couple of names.
Yeah, Wagga
there's some
Wagga.
towns over there that have some cities that have some interesting names that we would find interesting or strange.
I like it.
We've got about 8 minutes before we're supposed to get Caden on. Scotty, do you want to touch on your topic real quick?
Are you just gonna shit on me for it, or can I actually?
hope so.
Can we have an
Oh,
open
yes.
discussion
Please,
about
let's
it?
do
God,
this.
I hope so.
So, this spawned from I was thinking about ideas for the show. This spawned from the fact that we've been hearing a lot about the bikes are too fast. We should do 350s. The tracks are cookie cutter. There's only so much you can do. We need different obstacles. And my idea would be to have some kind, and I know that a lot of my takes come from like this fantasy land where logistical stuff kind of just magically works. I know that this probably would never work, but my idea would be to have, however you regulate it, there's only certain things that you can do to the
And we're
bike.
out of time.
Certain things you can do to the bike.
No, it's
like
there's an easier fix for
like
that.
you can put $80,000 into your suspension, but you can't.
That's the 250 class.
maybe do that in the 250 class.
No, that's what the 250 class is.
What do you mean?
Like, there's a lot of restrictions on what you can do in the 250 class. It's not unlimited. Like, you can't, like, everything that's on the 250.
No, but for the premier class
No.
and modification wise.
No, in the 250 class, or in the premier class, they have the cases.
I understand there's a production rule. I'm just thinking to add what
What are you trying? What's the point?
Don't look at it as like restrictions.
He's trying to basically mellow out the premier
restrictor
class,
plates.
the 450 class.
or make it more of a strategy.
But
Be
how- the
like
biggest-
you can make your bike good in whoops.
Oh, like
you can make your bike
like a money cap, like they do in football.
you can a cap space. Yeah, that'd be a good way to do it.
Yeah, but how do you? I mean,
Exactly.
How are they going
I-
to regulate that? Like they do that
I
in
understand
NASCAR
that
at
there's
times,
probably
right?
not
There's
gonna-
certain things. There's
Certain laps that you can
not
use.
stencils. What do you call it? Where they have to put up like the car has to fit within their.
oh yeah.
It's not a stencil.
I
What,
know
what
what
do
you're
you call
talking
that?
about. Like the it's like a template.
Yeah.
Well,
but
F1 has parts of the race that that certain features are enabled on the car.
yeah.
I don't know. It's something like that. I don't have the solution.
know that I'm going to say that's the worst idea on the planet. I'd like to.
I just don't know how.
But I don't think there's any way the AMA is going to regulate that. I mean, they cheat the sound test all the time.
You remember when you remember
we
playing I think Mad Skills is like this motocross where like you earn achievements to unlock better features on the bike.
Yep.
But have it like so if you have so many notches that you can go. If you want to max out your acceleration, well then you lose some down here.
Oh yeah, sure.
Just like ways to make it more of like a strategic game almost. Like you.
Yeah, I want to be better off the start, so I'm going to be worse.
I have a start whoops bike.
Sure.
Don't the tires do that?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, look at that point.
I know there's probably nothing really here.
I like the idea of it. Like you said, in a perfect fantasy land where you can control it all. Yeah, I think that's cool.
That would be cool.
You said some of this came because I don't know if we did this on air, but I've been watching the '93 season.
Yeah,
for something I'm working on, and those tracks, like the bikes were slower, obviously 2 strokes, but the way the tracks were built. Also,
we're different. Yeah,
you couldn't just keep your momentum all the time.
You couldn't triple quad. Yeah, it was like
you could sit still at the bottom of a triple on a 450. And like at the base of a 450 and basically make the triple.
Well, and another reason I thought about this is because Jet and Hunter were on production bikes this week, and Jet did not get the starts that he normally
Garrett
gets.
Rockley said the claiming rule.
Oh yeah, I like that. Everybody's.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, some regulations might help. It would also probably help the privateers.
Yeah, if
there was a cap, but I don't know how you regulate that, and then. What does that actually do to our sport in the end?
I like the claiming rule, Garrett. That's actually pretty good.
Well, and also Chase had a good point, like with doing replica tracks. Like, what happened to the year where like a couple people designed Pastrana, Wyndham, and Stewart, cool. And they all had their own track they designed. Like, do something like that. Then there needs to be something like that.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one. It's. The bikes are too fast.
Well, why can't we
powerful.
Just put restrictor plates?
I don't know, TJ.
No, I'm saying
I don't know I don't even understand. I'm not mechanically inclined enough to even know how that works.
It's just real simple. Basically, in NASCAR, how they do it would be on the intake, like where the carburetor, the throttle body, and stuff like that is. They have a plate that has a certain size hole.
Oh, okay.
And if it's whatever it is, and on certain tracks where they want to slow the cars down, they make that hole, that restrictor plate, smaller. So the engine is basically just an air pump, and so the smaller the hole, the less it can pull in, so the less power it can make. And that's how they're able to restrict the NASCARs. You can do whatever you want. You can spend all the money you want, but that restrictor plate is your limitation. With the dirt bikes, to make it easy to check, because the car is easy to check. Pop the hood, it's right there. They could do it on the exhaust. They could say the tip of your exhaust can only be this big around, and you can only get so much flow through that.
Yeah, I like the idea of having, like, you have for a Supercross season, you have a capped budget, and so it's like, okay, well, I have to divide that over all the rounds to the. Of bike stuff that I can do or use or change out.
They have,
and like, okay, well, obviously I'm going to make my A1 bike like badass, and then I might save a couple. So you'd have some riders that like, okay,
but that's like, but you couldn't actually.
I know.
Right.
I know.
We may come back to this. We got a couple of topics we're going to get to, but I believe our first guest of the night is on the line. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Yamaha Motor USA, which has a reputation for dominance. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built over decades. The YZ store is over 50 years of iconic machines and groundbreaking innovations. Yamaha took the championship-winning bikes and made them even better because the best doesn't rest. Check them out at YamahaMotorsports.com or go to your local dealership and check out the complete line of Yamaha Motorsports. Tonight, Yamaha Motor USA brings us from Yamaha Star Racing, Caden Dudney. What's up, Caden?
What's up?
What's going on, dude? Good to talk to you. Congratulations on a hell of a... Minios, Loretta's. It's been a hell of a year for you.
Yeah, it's definitely been a year. It's good, though.
Yeah, it's good. There's a few things I want to talk to you about. Let's start with the signing to Star Racing Yamaha, or Yamaha Star Racing. How did that opportunity come about? You had been with Team Green for a few years. I know Ryan Holiday was very helpful, and Team Green was very helpful in your amateur career. So what decisions went into going to Yamaha?
Yeah. So I don't really know. It's kind of cool though, just like be on the team and have this opportunity to be Star Yamaha. So
yeah, I mean, obviously they're super successful, but then there's been a few kids that have struggled once they went to the team. So the program is proven at the pro level, the Yamaha program, Star Racing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your amateur career so far. Loretta's, came into Loretta's, or you were injured right before Loretta's, I think after the regional. So you didn't have a whole lot of time on the bike. Were you nervous at all about going into 2024 Loretta's? Oh, shit, why is my alarm going off? Sorry about that.
Wake up.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you nervous going into this year's Loretta's? Because you also missed 23 with injury, if I'm not mistaken.
No, 23, we just didn't go because I was too big on the Super Mini and
okay.
I was blowing them up. So, yeah, we skipped then, and then I only got 2 days before 24. I was really only worried about my fitness, and I wasn't too worried about the speed. It was just like fitness because I've been off the bike for so long. And but no, I went in there knowing I was gonna like actually ride decent, but didn't know how my fitness would be. So I just tried my best, and we ended up winning both championships in 5 out of 6 motos. So it was a really good year.
Yeah, and then obviously Mini O's rode very, very well. Let's see, I think you got
one. He went on 250A. He went 1-1 in both MX and Supercross.
I thought he
Pro
went.
Sport.
Go ahead.
He won both the divisions, the MX and the Supercross, and Pro Sport. He got 3rd in both.
Okay. I think he went 2-1 in 250.
Well, I'm
MX.
saying between the MX and Supercross.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, though, Mini O's went very well for you. You're at the top of your game in the amateur scene. So yeah, just talk about that. I kind of feel like you came out of nowhere almost, Caden, because I don't think your name was mentioned a whole lot in the last couple of years, but in 24, you're the guy.
Yeah. Minios, well, it started out with Rez. Rez was just breakout years. So, yeah. We were pretty successful at Minios. A couple bad motos from mistakes, but a lot to take away from it and learned a lot from there. So, yeah.
So Caden, this is TJ, Doc's dad. I've known you since you were quite little. You've got to train at underground different places throughout the year, and now you are out there training with all of, let's just say, the fastest guys in the class that you're going to be going to. How is that different now? Like, and how is your day-to-day? Is it more serious? Do you still get to goof off? Because, I mean, a lot of people who don't know you don't know that you like to have fun.
Yeah, we definitely like to keep it fun, and it's kind of laid back but serious at the same time. So I enjoy it.
So, but they don't have like a big pond for y'all to like catch on fire out there or anything, do they?
Oh, jeez.
No, I think they got a little pond. But...
Well, speaking of that, then, so you know him a little bit, TJ.
Yeah,
he's a normal kid, right? You're saying, but he likes to have.
No, he is not.
He's not a normal kid.
He's not a normal kid.
But you're saying he likes to have a good time.
Yes.
So, Caden, once the amateur scene gets serious, and it's serious now, this has been a serious year. Does that add a bunch of pressure to you that you were not expecting, or were you prepared for it? I've asked a lot of the amateur kids over the years, like a Ryder D or a Hayden Deegan, about that. Like, can you still find time to enjoy actually going and riding your dirt bike, or has it become a job because of the pressure?
No, I think every day is just go out there and have fun and just learn.
Okay.
It's not like too serious. I mean, it is, but like it isn't at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think I want to hear. I want to hear that you're still enjoying it and having fun, but we also know the reputation of Bobby Reagan and Yamaha Star Racing, where they are very demanding. So if you can find that happy ground where, okay, I'm still enjoying this, I'm not getting burnt out. You know, I mean, obviously you're still young. You don't want to get burnt out right away. So during motos and sprints or something, I'll just go out there and toss a couple whips like mid-moto or something, just have fun with it. Okay. And that loosens you up? Yeah. Sometimes it gets a little scary. I almost crashed a couple times, but it's all right. We're still alive. Don't do that, dude. Don't hit the deck. We got to just keep it straight. If you're going to crash, keep it straight. Yeah.
I will say, Caden, I watched most of the A-class stuff that I could on Racer TV, and you guys had some good rides going. Like the fact that you were as consistent as you were with the parity that was in that class was really cool. The question is did you kind of ever during any point during the week, did you look over and see what old Mike Brown's lap times were and make sure that you had him covered?
No, I didn't look at any of the lap times. I was just going out there and just trying
Yeah.
to like I know how to, and just click off the lap.
Yeah, it worked out, man. You had very solid results, and I'm sure like
Hammered.
Yeah, it's got to be different for doing stuff like you have this year with futures and the combine and stuff like that, and then you go back and realize how people forget how rough these amateur tracks are.
Yeah, no, the track was pretty rough this year. It started off like actually pretty smooth, and it got rougher throughout the week. But
Yeah, I was noticing some of the classes had like 3 or 4 heat races.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'd say this was definitely the best year I've had at Minneapolis so far, just like track wise and stuff.
Yeah, for the people who haven't been to that track, I've gotten to walk the track quite a few times after the race day is over, and nobody wants to ride that. Like you saying it was good doesn't mean that anybody else would like it, Caden. I promise you that.
Yeah, us old guys like smooth
it's
tracks.
so deceiving on TV. You're like, yeah, it looks fine. I'm sure when you're out there, it's
Yeah.
just a freaking nightmare.
So speaking of the track, have they put your dad to work out there building tracks or anything?
No, he's gone crazy though without like doing the bike work, 'cause he's done it my whole riding career, and yeah, he's just going crazy. He's always like looking for something to do.
He's got to be driving you crazy then, because
Or his
as much
mechanic.
energy as he has, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, over there, mechanic. Are you sure you want to do that way? Or I think
Let me do that.
yeah, you might want to tighten that bolt that way.
Yeah.
Well, since that topic got brought up, Caden, this is a question that I've kind of been asking some riders lately just for fun. Can you work on your own bike? What can you do if you had to do it yourself? What can you do?
I feel like I can do mostly everything except for like change the motor or something.
Okay. So, yeah, if you had to change a chain or even pull a tire off, pull a wheel off, I mean, those kind of things you're good with. Pull your suspension off.
Adjust the chain, all that.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was 23 that summer. It was just me and my mom, so
Okay.
I kind of learned how to work on my bike a little bit, but
You-
she changed the motor and all that, but
Wait, your mom did?
yeah.
Dude, their family's
Sick.
real.
That's cool.
It is the grassroots of moto. When they first came to Underground, if I'm not mistaken, Caden, weren't y'all living in the Sprinter?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I thought y'all were like, maybe y'all weren't. Y'all were out of just a Sprinter though. It was just basically a Sprinter van, and when y'all
Just
were
hardcore.
like the family is
Love it.
Yeah, and his dad was out there building a track. Didn't your dad flip a dump truck one time out there?
No, that was another dad. But
Oh, that was another dad. For some
Your
reason,
dad,
I
your
thought
dad
it
was
was
what I
around.
said, too.
He was around, yeah. Hey, now a little piece of advice though. It only takes one loose drain bolt to ruin your reputation
Oh,
being ever
Jesus.
trusted with any kind of bike work ever again. Just take from my mistakes. Just
Yeah, Scotty forgot to put his drain bolt back in.
Well, he put it in. He just didn't.
Well, yeah,
tighten
just didn't tighten it. Yeah, that's kind of a important.
a hand tighten. You need to put the wrench to it.
Yeah, Caden, you were talking about. Well, they asked you about looking at Brownie's lap times, and that kind of made me remember that I had read something at Loretta's. You'd had the fastest lap of the week. Then somebody else went faster, and you're like, "Crap! Now I got to go out there and go faster." So you were kind of keeping up with it at Loretta's. At least you wanted to have fastest lap time.
yeah, I was kind of angry after I saw like someone got the fastest lap time, but like I was looking at the track that moto, and they just prepped it, and he had a 450, I think. I may be wrong. He may have been on 250, but I think it was 450.
But it was a perfectly
yeah,
prepped track.
I was kind of angry about that, so I had to do better. So
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah, and your ability. I saw you ride at Loretta's. I was there a couple of days for that, and I interviewed you at Loretta's after after you won the first title. But I saw you at Swan practicing one day, and TJ, I think were you there that day?
I was there.
And bro, you were scrubbing that jump after the little rhythm section. And I don't know if I've ever seen anybody scrub something. I mean, that's some James Stewart shit right there. Bars almost dragging. And that just watching you do that, I was like, okay, this kid's got some skills. I didn't even care if you could corner. Just watching you scrub was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I said. So that was fun. I would have died.
I had a throwback. Last weekend, I went and rode out at Buffalo, and there's a kid. The kid, I guess, knows you, but he had one of your 85s, a younger kid, and he had your gear on with your number and stuff like that. And I catch up to the back of him, and I'm like, this is the only time I'm ever going to be able to catch up and pass at least Caden Dudney on an 85. I mean, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I haven't been to Buffalo forever.
Yes, it's the same. Like, the dirt
It has not changed.
No, the dirt has actually gotten better. Like,
But the
I don't know
track
what
hasn't
he's done,
changed. It's the
but
same
it's so
layout.
much sandier, and it's so much better now.
Buffalo Creek and Canton, Texas. That might be on some of our lists for top 5 riding spots.
It would be on Doc's. It would be on Doc's.
Really?
We'll
That
get
is
there in a
one
little
of
while.
Doc's favorite tracks.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get to the T-Boat USA top 5
So,
in a little bit. But
Caden's got to travel all over the U.S.,
Yeah.
Caden. If you had to, our top 5, we pick a top 5 every week. You don't have to do 5, but what are some of your favorite places to ride? It doesn't have to be motocross tracks, but like if you had to say, like this weekend, I'm going to go ride here, where would it be?
And then Redbud, Loretta's.
There's something
Baja.
wrong with you if you like Loretta's after I've
Loretta's.
seen how rough that place is. Baja
Loretta's
Acres
fun.
is
I don't
awesome.
know. I don't know what it is about it, but I just find that place like very fun to ride.
So are you running the Amateur A again next year?
Yeah.
You are, okay. So next year you got to, the whole time when you go to Baja, when you do the Brawl, when you do all these things, it's going to be the last time. Is that like set in yet that you're going to be the last time you're going to do it as an amateur and all that kind of stuff?
I don't know if I'm doing Baja. I don't think I can do that one anymore, but I would like to.
Dude,
That track's so fun.
well, and the whole weekend, the Brawl, to me, after traveling through all the amateur, for some reason, the Brawl is like my favorite one to go to.
really,
But
Yeah, that track always gets pretty gnarly and rough,
And
which is
Kate-
what I like. But
Caden was always, if I remember right, you would run around with the kids with the pit bikes making them backfire all weekend long too.
Is Caden why they're outlawed now? And you have to have a golf cart and stuff. Hey, I looked up and I didn't. There's no telling when of the day these different races happen, but Caden had Mike Brown pretty covered.
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no, they could have
Oh,
been
you
on
looked at
two.
lap times.
They could have been on two completely different tracks.
You
Let's
have
see how
faster lap
Caden's. Let's see
times.
how Caden's lap times are when he's 50 something. How old is Brownie? Like 52.
Yeah. He did like 6 classes
Yeah.
on
Brownie's
both divisions.
Brownie's unbelievable. But let's talk about your new trainer. You're out there at the old goat farm working with Swanee now. How's that going?
no, it's going really good. He's fun to work with. I like him a lot. He kind of reminds me of Wyndham and Raynard all in one.
Like explain that. Like how? What about him?
Robbie was like very technical with like where your feet and like everything were, and then Kevin's just like tells you where to put the bike, and
Mhm.
I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, they're just both really good.
Okay, but how has that transition been? Because you've been in Texas for a long time. I think you were born, if I'm not mistaken, in Des Moines, but you've been in Texas for many years training. The dirt, I feel like, is fairly similar on the East Coast, but I haven't ever been there. So has it been a pretty easy transition to move from Texas to there and to Georgia and just train with a whole new facility?
Yeah, right now we're just staying in the camper at Star.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not bad, but I think we're gonna rent a house or something. 'Cause I can't keep living in this RV, man.
He's gonna go all shining on everybody.
He's gonna that's gonna be your motivation. They're gonna tell you, hey, if you got to get out there and like win X number of races before you're allowed out of the RV.
Yeah. Well, he's already accomplishing that. I don't think it'll take very long. What has been the biggest surprise being there training? I assume you're on the track the same time as all the star guys, the pros, and at least getting some time with those guys. Have you started picking up on anything that you weren't expecting? Has anything surprised you?
Yeah, it's definitely cool to ride with them all because like I can kind of watch them, and every now and then I'll just go in between everyone, like in between their practices, and I'll just watch them, and then I'll go out there and try to like do what they're doing.
And has it started like okay, I could sit there and say I'm watching what you're doing or I'm watching what Hayden's doing. I can't actually do it. So when you're watching those guys and you pick up on something, you go, okay, I didn't think about that. And then you can go out there and do it pretty easily? Or do you kind of go, oh, wow, I still can't quite figure this out yet?
Yeah, some things are a little harder than what it looks like, but we're still out there grinding.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, so what is the plan for 25? Is it? I know it's futures and combine, but what else is that the primary focus right now?
Yeah, futures for right now, and then combine and Loretta, and we'll see from there.
Yeah.
So that means we'll probably see you more than likely at a couple outdoors after Loretta's, like most of the kids do. Maybe before, because you can get a few points. Because I think you can get up to 40 points.
You interrupted him, man. I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Say that again, Caden.
No, that'd be pretty cool to do, run a couple outdoors. We'll see how it goes after Loretta's, though.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll kind of keep an eye on you throughout the year and see if they feel like you're ready. But I have a feeling you will be. My last question for you before we wrap this thing up: I'm sure you've been practicing a little bit of Supercross. You've been racing motocross most of your life. You just did mini-O's. What do you prefer? What's your favorite discipline, Supercross or motocross?
I would say Supercross. I just rode Supercross today for the third day, and the whoops are definitely my favorite part.
What's wrong with you, Caden?
I don't know what it is about them. It's just once you get on top of them, it's just like a feeling that you can't get anywhere else.
Just stay up there.
Awesome.
Yeah, stay up there, because
that's why I don't like whoops. I've never been on top of them.
I'm about to say, yeah, he loves the whoops when he's on top of them, but that one time that front wheel drops, that's going to change.
I always end up in between them. Well, Caden, I'm excited to see what you've got, man. I said something I posted something on Vital today. I think that on our social scoops, I feel like you're a very good signing for Star. I think you're going to be very successful. I just see big things coming from you. So I look forward to seeing 25 for you, man. I can't wait to see you out there.
I think something happened because he was like, hello.
Are you there, Caden?
Oh, we lost him.
Let me see if I can get him back. Hang on. We'll wrap it. We'll just get him back and wrap it up real quick.
He's quiet on the interview, but you sit around with him on purpose.
I bet he's
I mean, in person, and dude, the kid's a nut. It's awesome.
I think we got him back. Hey, Caden, sorry about that, man. I guess we lost you. But yeah, I was saying that I'm just very excited to see what you do in 25. I think big things are coming your way, and I want to congratulate you on the opportunity with Star. Oh, you got more?
I was going to say, I don't know if we may have even mentioned this, but he's doing the futures next year. Right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I asked him a minute ago. Yeah, you were
chatting
with YouTube.
Yep, working.
Being distracted. Yep. Sorry.
You're good.
Good luck.
But yeah, good luck, Caden, man. We can't wait to see you out there and see what you got.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Take care, and we'll talk to you real soon.
All right.
Okay, bye. That's Yamaha Star Racing's Caden Dudney tonight, brought to you by Yamaha Motor USA. Yeah, so we got a few more things to talk about before we get Caleb Wood on. But I think we're gonna close out your discussion that we had, Scotty. I don't think there's really anywhere else to go with that.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it was interesting.
That's fine.
Idea.
Yeah, let's do the X Brand Forum check-in, and we do have a few other random topics that we can get to if we need. If we run out of things, but hopefully we won't, right?
No, we never.
X-Brand is your choice for clear vision and a leader in motocross and off-road goggles. X-Brand is used by many of the top GNCC riders, including the 2023 XC1 champion Craig DeLong, the 23 National Hare and Hound XC1 champion Dalton Shirey, 2023 AMA National Enduro champion Grant Baylor, and many more, including motocross, supercross, and arena cross riders like Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Noren, Henry Miller, Michael Hicks, and others, including myself. Visit eksbrand.com or go to your local dealership and ask for X Brand distributed through WPS. Tonight, TJ, I picked this one kind of for you.
Huh?
I think you'll have a lot to say about this.
What's that like to have him like think about you and actually?
Well,
because we're friends.
I thought about it once I read it. Okay. This was a topic. It was actually posted in 2021, but somehow it popped back up.
I may have been one
today.
of the trolls on there.
And it was posted by Peg Slippin 37. That's not you, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, cool. What is the best route to take for my son? I need some advice for my 13-year-old son. So this was, again, 3 years ago. For my 13-year-old son that's been racing a year. My son really loves motocross. He talks with a lot of really fast kids, and it seems most are homeschooled and spend a great deal of time training at training facilities or ride a lot. We don't have unlimited resources or time, so what is the best way to go about getting better and faster while not spending months at compounds or a fortune? We're not looking to go to Loretta's, just trying to get some solid advice. So, obviously your kid, Doc, his goal was to go pro, but you've been around the scene. So what would you say for people who have kids that just want to improve, not necessarily make a career out of it? What would you suggest?
So basically, if a kid's going to make it, he's going to make it against all odds. That's all there is to it. So what the best thing, in my opinion, that a parent can do is, like, if you're going to spend money at all, is find a local pro or somebody who does some training and just work on fundamentals. If you're watch a bunch of YouTube videos, and the biggest thing that I tell people that nobody thinks of, which is kind of weird, is video the kid riding.
Okay.
Yeah, very good point.
And then whenever you say, hey, you're not standing up, show them on the video you're not standing up. Because
and plus you always look slower in a video. So it's I mean, it's just true.
But
you're like,
I know I'm hauling ass.
Yeah, you're like, I'm hauling ass, and you watch something like, that's it. And then you look and like, I can go faster there.
There's something about seeing it on video that is probably the big. Like, you could do that yourself. You could set a camera up in a corner, which I've done before, and then where am I hitting the brakes? Where are my elbows? Where is my legs? All that kind of stuff. But as far as, like you said, if your kid is going to go the pro route and is really dedicated, I promise you he's going to make it. And if you spend a bunch of money and a bunch of time, all you're going to do is ruin the experience that you have with your kid riding, because and I've seen that so many families fall apart because of moto, because they put so much of their life, and this is not a bad thing for Caden, but I watched their family sell everything and move down here for this. Now, it worked for him, but it didn't work for him because they did that. They did that because that's what the kid, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
sometimes, a lot of times it doesn't work out.
yeah, most of the time it doesn't.
You definitely can't go in expecting it to work out.
Well,
that's for sure.
Y'all watched Doc grow up. He was never one of the fastest kids. Whenever he was a little kid on 85s, nobody was like and he goes, I want to make it pro. Nobody was ever like, yes, this kid will be pro one day.
Sure.
Like, no one believed that, which makes sense because, he wasn't the fastest, but he's just hard-headed enough and driven enough that he's making something out of it. So,
what about local riding coaches? Like Doc worked with Michael Dean Gage here locally for a little while.
Which was probably the most fundamental thing that the best base we did for him was with Michael.
Because I do think it's good to have your kid work with somebody other than yourself, right? Because most of the time, kids don't really want to listen to their parents, or they're usually combative.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're not,
they should conversate then.
You don't. If you don't have unlimited funds, you could still find a local pro probably that. Maybe and get some pointers at the very least, but the video
That's
your
why
kid.
I brought that up.
But then there's also a lot of online videos, like why am I blanking on the main? There's a couple online videos that you could download for.
Yeah.
I'm blanking. I want to say Doug Dubach, but it's not Doug Dubach.
No, I know you're talking
Gary
about
Simics.
Yeah, Gary Simics videos are great.
But here's the thing. That's why I brought up video your kid.
Yeah.
So when you see he's not doing right, he won't listen to you. He won't listen. It's just how it is. Kids just don't listen.
And also video the whole thing and video it good. Don't just be completely panned out on your phone and see try to get the whole track. You're gonna have to work that zoom, and you're gonna have to do it right. It might take some practice, or else they won't really. They can't see what they're doing.
But that's that way. They go ahead.
Well, one thing, because me and my dad, we were casual fans. I never in a million years was ever thought I was going to be pro. We just did it because it was a hobby of ours and enjoyed it. One thing that he did do though, just to kind of keep me a little competitive, was he would say like, hey, you really only need like two seconds a lap, and then you're right in it with these guys. So he would be like
motivating you.
Well, just that, or just think about, it's like, okay, how can I gain a millisecond here, half a millisecond there? Break it down, make the track small. Like, think about, how can I gain a quarter of a second or an eighth of a second in this one little spot? And that's going to help you focus on each segment and allow you to kind of piece the track together. Yeah. Rather than if you come off the track, I got seventh again. Like, okay, well, so sixth was 2 seconds in front of you.
Yeah.
You can cut. You had 4 laps. If you can get him, you can get half a second a lap. You had him. Half a second a lap. It's not that much at when you're at that level where you're not splitting hairs. You're just trying to you can gain a half a second when you're slow.
I think most people just let your kid ride, have fun.
Well, and gate drops.
And
gate drops are big.
Racing.
Just racing. Like you could go to a training facility if you just ride there all the time.
Do the local
you're
racing.
Not getting gate drops. You're not learning racecraft.
Probably stay out of the AMA stuff because that's usually pretty serious. Just giving advice.
But
it's more expensive for the AMA. It's way more competitive classes. If they want gate drops,
but like I said, just riding and having
race.
fun. If the kid wants to race, take him racing. If the kid just wants to practice, just practice and have fun. And
go trail riding.
That's the biggest trail riding. Yep.
Different disciplines.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I think trail riding.
Did the guy say that he rode too?
No, it doesn't say. It just says the kid enjoys
if
it.
y'all both ride, go trail riding. Y'all will have a blast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different advice, like just twist the throttle. It's on the right, But
throttle's on the right, bud.
A fan of the week, Racing Team USA on YouTube says that this show has grown on him, and he digs us. So that's cool. We gain fans, not fans.
What was the YouTube name? That was a long name.
Racing Team USA.
Okay, cool, man. Thanks, Racing Team USA. Who knew Team USA is racing?
Yeah. We made it.
We're big time.
Yeah.
Appreciate the kind words. I think I said corn.
I don't know. The YouTube chat is awesome always.
Yeah. Well, all right. We got Caleb Wood coming up in a few minutes. We're going to jump into the Evans Coolant emails. And Evans wireless coolant protects your engine because it always stays liquid. Steam inside the engine creates hot spots and detonation, but with Evans, the metal is always liquid cooled. Used by HRC Honda, Factory Beta USA, Ampro Factory Yamaha, and many other teams, regardless of the sponsorship, Evans is in the bikes on the podium. So we've got a few emails here. We get these pulled up. We had the one from Vince Pell. He had a couple topics, but let's go with, I'm trying to decide which one I want to go to first. It's great radio. And I lost all the emails. That's awesome.
I think this is C level.
Yeah, but that's what we are, right? I mean,
hey man, we got the curtains now. That's B plus. We got the curtains.
You brought it up. He didn't.
No, he brought it up at the beginning of the show.
Oh, did
I didn't say anything about the curtains.
You said changes.
Yeah,
you did say
changes.
Yeah, you did say changes.
Which, as a matter of fact, since you guys always give me stuff from being distracted, the buzz in my headphones is driving me
I can tell.
insane.
Oh, I don't have it.
And nobody hears
it's not in yours. Is it in yours?
Yes.
Okay, so it's probably something
I
with
think
cables being crossed.
I think I was just getting old and senile.
No, it's jacked.
Yeah,
but we'll get it fixed.
Yeah.
All right, how about we got these last week or two, and we didn't get to them before the last show. Guy wanted to know about how we deal with aches and pains at our age. Like, how do you
deal with it?
Decide not to Are you going to ride because you're going to feel like shit the next day?
Put your purse down and deal with it.
Oh, I never stops me from riding wanting to go ride. Okay. I'm not like sitting out there getting a text from you guys and being like, hey, we're going riding tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be sore Saturday afternoon. I don't want to ride.
I didn't even realize you rode still.
Well, we're not talking about bike malfunctions.
I mean, it was like almost 2 years where you didn't ride, it felt like, and then you rode for like twice.
I got a bike you got tomorrow.
Oh, well, that was not offered
but
to me before.
How old are you, Scotty?
34.
And TJ?
46.
Okay, so I almost don't even count Scotty because he hasn't hit 40 yet. Everything changed at 40. Everything for me changed at 40.
Nothing changed for me. I beat my body up for racing for so long that I think I've always hurt.
By the way, our email is motoxpodshow@gmail.com. If you guys want to weigh in on any of these topics or give us any criticism, etc., please hit us up, motoxpodshow@gmail.com. Again, for the T-Boat USA Top 5, Evans Coolant emails. We like to get your thoughts on EVS picks.
Do y'all...
One of our listeners said lots of weed.
Do y'all use...
Is that Chase?
No.
Do y'all use any like that? Like, I don't take any pain pills ever.
Yeah, I'd have to be really hurting to take like an asprin or something.
Yeah, I will take a couple ibuprofen here and there or leave, and then I have some like CBD, MD roller stuff that I'll use sometimes, but then I forget about it for a while. Yeah. I do think it helps if I use it every day, but then I forget about it. But dude,
having a I know y'all don't drink, but having a cooler beer helps.
Okay.
I don't take anything like if I actually get hurt at the track or whatever, I'll take a Midol.
if I go down Midol.
No, Midol is the strongest.
I know.
Hold on. It's the strongest over the counter anti-inflammatory you can buy.
I know.
Yeah, anyways. a couple of guys in the chat, Muppet and Big Dirt Bike Guy, both brought up Rip to Malcolm Smith.
Yes. Obviously, rest in peace, Malcolm Smith. Very sad, legend. One of the all-time greats in the sport. I never got a chance to meet him, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
No.
I'm actually surprised.
Have you? Yeah, I never.
No, I never met him
okay.
either. I'm just surprised that you
No, never got a chance, man. That's a bummer. That's one I would love to have called or have met. Yeah, very sad. We're all getting older.
Yeah.
I bet Malcolm had some aches and pains, but it does change at 40. And I'm 6 months away, more than that, 7.5 months away from being 50.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've noticed some
racing plus 50 classes.
What?
Haven't you been racing plus 50 classes?
No, I'm going to try to qualify in the plus 50 because I'm AMA 50.
Well, isn't that
your birthday's before Loretta's?
My birthday, I will be 50 by the time Loretta's gets
Isn't
here.
50 faster than the 45?
The top guys maybe, but there are less fast guys supposedly.
It's not as deep.
There might be 2 or 3 really fast guys at my regional, hopefully, and opposed to 8 to 10.
That's what happens
That's the
as
hope.
you move up in the age classes.
Yeah.
It seems like the top guys are just as fast, sometimes feel like they're even faster, but the competition isn't as deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But anyway, I want to wrap this up, the aches and pains thing.
Stretch
But
before you go to bed and stretch
definitely,
the next
I
morning.
will say, since I started getting in the gym and stretching every morning, I notice a massive difference. Like I've always had back problems. It's hereditary. I mean, 4 years ago, maybe, I was told that I needed to have my neck fused because of some issues I have, like degenerative disc disease and bone spurs, et cetera, et cetera. But with the stretching and the working out, I think I've built up, obviously, some muscle, and then I started eating a little better, which helps with inflammation. That's that right? Inflammation? And those things have helped a lot. So I really, as a younger guy, I didn't give a crap about taking care of myself. And now that I'm older, I regret that. So I definitely deal with a lot of it, and I just think eating better and exercising is key. And then, like Scotty said, really, then it just comes down to, I'm hurting today, but I want to ride, so I'm just going to suck it up and go.
I grew up with I would say something that hurt me. Like I got hurt, my mom would be like, "Well, I didn't feel nothing." So
The ones that, like, when you go do these weekends where it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like you practice on Friday, race first motos on Saturday, second motos on Sunday, something like that. That third Sunday, hopping on the bike to practice, the old taint is just worked. I don't know.
The taint?
He
like
sits down the whole time he rides.
I guess I don't know. I guess
I'll wait
I'm just cheeked up because I get inside my butt. My butt cheeks
Interesting.
always get sore when I sit down on the seat.
I definitely had that issue when I did the Ironman thing and I raced the quad race the day before and then did the intro the day before. But that was 2 hours of probably 6 hours of riding total. So I get it. And when I'm riding moto, I don't ever have that. Even when I do multiple motos, I've never really had that. But
it may just be the way my legs are shaped because it always happens to me.
Just never mind. I'm not even gonna. I was gonna make a joke, but
I mean, we're talking about motocross. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away. Okay, this was kind of a funny off-moto topic.
Oh, I like this already.
So this email wanted to know, like, if you're with a chick, wife, girlfriend,
listening,
one night stand, whatever, when you first got together and you notice, quote unquote, a defect. I don't know what this defect could be. Maybe she's got a jacked up toe.
I have an answer for this.
Do you say something? Do you keep it to yourself? If you do say something, do you say it like as soon as you see it? Do you wait 5 years? Like, what do you think?
You hold it in for 27 years.
Okay.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
No, what I do is I make fun of things on my wife that aren't actually defects. Like she has a normal size forehead, but I constantly tell her she has a 5 head.
Oh yeah,
just constantly to the point now she like
she's worried about
her hair and worries about her forehead looking big. It's great.
Yeah, well, see, that's mean.
It's hilarious.
So I did one. I said when I've been with my fiance now for about a little over 4 years, and within the first couple months, a year, somewhere around there, I was just like, we were just sitting there, and I was like, for as small as you are, you kind of have like normal. You have normal person-sized feet, but you have like a real small body.
So basically,
looks
she has
like a
big
hobbit.
feet.
So I
He
told-
said
so-
you basically said you
so
have big
she
feet.
thinks it's like that was almost 4 years ago,
Yeah.
and to this day, like I can't. She doesn't let me really see her feet. She like freaks out.
Oh my god, about that! I can't wait till y'all come over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do it.
Oh,
do
man.
it.
I'll be like, God,
it doesn't
I'm
bother
like,
me.
her feet aren't that big. What are you talking about?
That's
Do it.
even better.
Do
I
it.
like that.
Yeah, dude, that'd be
I like that.
hilarious. Please do that.
I like that even
yeah.
better.
No, that'd be So
Or you go, gosh, man, how much lotion do you have to use when you rub those things?
oh, okay, that's
Jesus,
just
it's like a tub.
like Peggy Hill.
Yeah.
Look at the cords.
Yeah, but no. So, but I never said her feet were big.
Yeah.
Never said the words feet big, but it turned as like to this day to me, like to her, I think her feet are big, and it's always a thing.
All right. How about this? Before you're married, you're just dating.
But can you restate the actual question again?
No.
Like just
if there's a defect, do you say something, or if you do, when do you say it?
like you notice the defect
Yeah,
after
like
you've already been dating,
Right,
or like right off the bat?
Yeah,
Do you
like-
say it right off the bat? Like if she has like a mole like in her nose that's like
No, you
got
don't
hair.
say it. You don't say it.
All right, go ahead.
All right, let's back up. Before you were locked down, you're just dating. You meet a chick at a club or a bar, and you're kind of talking. And then you guys decide, things are getting a little passionate. Then you see a defect. Do you shut it down?
What is it? What was
And
it
say
like?
I'm out,
That
or
reminds me of
do you
How
push
drunk
through?
am
that Eddie Murphy movie where the chick took her legs off.
No, that's
Was it Boomerang?
Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo.
No, it was
Well,
it was
She has a prosthetic.
there was a
In Boomerang, he was like this big time dater. I think
I don't remember.
Anyway.
It was either Eddie
Okay.
Murphy or Arsenio Hall or one of those guys that
I
had.
don't remember a leg thing, but anyway,
Anyways,
doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Can you push through? I guess it depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to give any examples
I
because
would-
we might alienate some people.
I honestly, pretty much whatever it is would wind up being like a notch in the belt. Like I did one of those.
All right, that's it. We got one from Vince Pale that we're going to hit real quick, and then we'll get to Caleb Wood. He wrote, "It's been a while, but remember Cooper Webb gaining points, the points lead." Okay, the way this is written is confusing. Webb tied the points at one point, shared the red plate with Jet last year.
Okay.
He says, could Cooper Webb be that dangerous again this year? And it did. That did happen.
Absolutely. He won Paris.
Yeah, there was a point, but when the points lead when they tied the points lead up, Jet had gotten not disqualified, but docked for the jumping on the red cross. And then I think the next race, as I recall, he had a really bad start, and Cooper went like 1-2-1 Jet. So I don't know that Cooper's ready to run at the same speed as Jet can, but I do believe Cooper is going to be more dangerous in 25 than 24. I think he's already looking better.
He was. I really hope that whatever happened at Oz SX doesn't hinder him from training or anything.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because he was looking that first race, he was gone.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to Lewis Phillips today. He's in California at the media day, and I think Cooper was scheduled for this morning, but I haven't had a chance to reach
They
out
won't
to him.
answer any questions anyways.
Well, he might be able to see if he's limping or.
Someone the report, the news I saw that said that I guess it said via social media. I'm assuming that he tweeted that little whiplash. He's a little banged up, but
Yes,
he's okay.
that was on Instagram.
That's all he said. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like Cooper would have come out and said something if it were something serious. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he would right away. But yeah, we got our next guest of the night on. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. Andy Gregg and the Guts Racing crew continue to provide the best seats and foam available. If you want the same seats used by Rockstar Husqvarna, Hep Suzuki, and many more, then you need Guts Racing. They have numerous color possibilities, staple or Velcro installation options, wing seats, and the best foam in the business with the Phantom Ultralight seat foam. And don't forget, they have complete seats for the Talaria and the Super 73, and covers for the Suron and Segway, and they strive to ship orders within 36 business hours. So visit gutsracing.com and order today. Tonight, Guts Racing brings us from the Red Bear, Rocky Mountain ATV MC Red Bear Kawasaki team and the YXC1 2024 champion, Caleb Wood. What's up, Caleb?
What's up? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Glad to get to talk to you. I never really got a chance. I introduced myself to you at Ironman, but I didn't get a very good chance to actually sit and talk to you. but Stu Baylor talks very highly of you, so I'm excited to have you on.
Yeah, I'm excited to be on here.
Is this your first podcast?
No, I've done a couple in the past, but not too many.
All right, well, that's cool, man. Well, let's right off the bat, dude. 2024 YXC1 champion, 6 wins in 12 rounds, I believe. Hell of a year for you. What was made this year so dominant for you?
I don't know. Just we've been grinding out at Shoals MX. I've been riding with a bunch of the top pros, including Stu, and just some things clicked this year that didn't necessarily click last year, and did pretty good.
Was this your first year training at Shoals with Stu?
No, I've been there for probably 4 years now.
Okay, so you've been there a while and you've soaked a lot of that up, and yeah, it's now it's time. I like that. So riding with guys like that, especially on the big bikes, is it easy for you to learn from those guys? Because I would imagine it's got to be somewhat difficult to keep up at times. I mean, those guys are hauling ass, and you're on an underpowered bike compared to them.
Yeah, I'd say sometimes it's a little bit difficult, but I'm a visual learner, so
okay.
Just sometimes whenever I see someone do something, it clicks a little bit better.
Yes. Okay. We were just talking about that when we were talking about Caden Dudney, who just signed with Star Racing, was talking about watching some of the guys, the pros there, and he's watching and learning. And I kind of joke, like, I don't know that I could watch guys at that level and learn anything because I just can't, I'm not talented enough. But I guess when you have the talent, you can watch it and you can kind of comprehend what they're doing and go, oh, okay, I can try that.
Yeah.
I like it. Scotty?
So who is the guy that you try to like model your riding after? You look for kind of, a lot of the guys in the XC1 class they're kind of all pretty established. There's not a lot of new names, so you've probably seen them growing up for a while. So which of those guys do you look up to and try to model your riding from?
Yeah, just being around Stu a lot, our riding styles are pretty similar. So I'd probably say Stu, but
that's a good guy to model after, man. Stu's the man.
Yeah, Stu.
We found out from who was it that we had on that we found out that he gave somebody a tattoo at the races?
Oh, I don't remember who said that, but I do.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Rachel? It was Rachel,
yeah, I think it was Rachel. Yeah, Rachel Archer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that team alone with Stu and Rachel, lots of titles there, so a lot of people, just a lot of knowledge to take in. You're a lucky kid, man, but obviously very, very talented. I want to get a little bit of your background real quick. How did you get into dirt bikes to begin with and off-road racing? Was that something your family did already?
Well, mainly Stu got me into it. My mom said I'd never touch a dirt bike in my life, but that didn't really age me too well. So,
clearly.
Yeah, I started out at the age of 6, I believe, and raced my first race at 7, and then just kind of took off from there. We started Shoals with Stu, and just been grinding ever since.
How much of a advantage do you think that is to start with somebody like that in your corner? Compared to, I mean, you had to go through all the amateur classes and learning to ride and doing all that kind of stuff. Like, can you put into words how much of an advantage that gives you for just having that in your backyard basically all the time?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big advantage. Mainly just from Stu always being on me, always pushing me around in anything and everything on and off the bike.
This year at Ironman, after you won the title, you moved up and rode. I'm trying to remember what class that was. Was it the two-stroke?
The 4-stroke A lights.
Yeah, 4-stroke A lights. I'm sorry. Just so you know, we're primarily a motocross, supercross show, so the off-road stuff we're learning about as we go, but it's something that we're all starting to grow a passion for. I've got to do a few of them, so yeah, I don't know all the classes, but moving up to that class, is that the goal for next year, and you were just kind of getting a taste of it?
Yeah, that'll be what I'm racing next year.
And I assume you're locked in still with Stu's team, right? You're not going anywhere.
Yes, sir. I'm still locked in.
Was it when you're training at Shoals? Are you generally riding now? Have you been riding the bigger bike, the 4-stroke, most of the year, or are you kind of riding your race bike?
Most of the year, I was like whenever I was still racing my Super Mini, I'd train probably 2 days a week on the 250 on an average, but just tried to stay off of it the most I could so it wouldn't spoil me. But after I wrapped up the championship, I've been strictly big bike since then.
Yeah, it's always interesting seeing, people make the jump and going from a super mini or 85 to the bigger bike. In motocross, it's one thing, but in your guys' world, like that's a big difference because, you're working with tight spaces. What was that like the first time that you got on the big bike? And when you go back to your 85, you feel like you're just like, can do anything you want on the trails.
Yeah, definitely. The big bike, just the main difference is how heavy it was. On the little bike, I could really manhandle it, put it exactly where I want. But whenever I was getting on the big bike for the first time, I was still pretty short. So and still am.
I have that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. It just kind of puts me where it wants to some of the times, but I'm learning how to.
Yeah, I'm vertically challenged as well, and trail riding is not. I like doing it, but it does not suit a short guy. It really doesn't.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
I enjoy trail riding as well.
You're tall.
Yeah, I've like I told you, I've done a few of these. So I've done Ironman the last 3 years. I did Big Buck this year, and I did Wild Boar last year. So they're a lot of fun. I would like to do more of them. I just don't get a chance to. But so if somebody was new coming into off-road racing, what is like the number one thing they need to know?
For the pros, like the pro race, it's going to be a long one. It's 3 hours long. So just going into, you gotta make sure your nutrition's on point and your fitness is on point because you're in for a long one.
Yeah, and I think for somebody that's just coming in, I kind of want to see what you said was it's the same thing even for the 2 hour race. You have to have some stamina, be hydrated, have your nutrition on point, as you say, because 2 hours in the woods is a long time when you're not used to doing that. If you're a guy like me that just comes from doing motos and you go to 2 hours in the woods, it's just such a different discipline. It uses different muscles, different cardio. It's a workout.
Yeah, for sure. And like, especially like you can sprint as hard as you want to for 20 minutes, but you got to learn how to pace yourself.
Yep.
Because you're not going to be able to sprint for 2 hours in the woods.
100%. I wasn't exactly prepared. That's for sure for the first couple, but I'm getting it figured out. And I've yet, in the 2 hour race, I've yet to do 4 laps. So I get 3 laps in every year. And usually Rachel and the girls go blowing by me halfway through lap 3.
How many miles is that?
Well, Ironman's like 13.
For one lap?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it depends. I think Wild Boar was around 13, but I think Big Buck was a little less, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
Do you remember, Caleb?
I know Ironman for the pros, it was 13, but I think they usually average like 10 or so a lap.
Yeah, and I'm doing like 40-minute lap times, 45. I'm slow, Caleb, so don't make fun of me. But my goal is to do it next year and get 4 laps, not let the girls or Phil Nicoletti lap me. Phil does it again. But, yeah, so I want to ask about Minios here in a second, but before we do that, one more thing with moving to the 4-stroke A lights next year. You got 7th at Ironman. What were your expectations going into that round? Was it top 10? Was it top 5? Did it go about how you thought?
Yeah, sort of. Just going into it, I knew that last hour was going to get me pretty heavy, and the first, I think we did 5 laps. In the first 4 laps, I was still doing pretty good. In that last lap, I think I dropped 30 seconds on that last lap. Just wasn't quite prepared enough for what was in store, but yeah, I think I did kind of decent for the first one.
Yeah, I'm sure now you know what to expect, so you'll be more prepared once 25 gets here. Do you have a goal in mind for 25 in your first year in that class? Is it to go win the title, or is it to just be consistent? What do you learn? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I definitely expect for this year to be a learning year.
Okay.
On the big bike for the first year, but yeah, I'd love to go out there and win it.
Obviously, yeah. I don't know what the talent level in that class is like. Who are the top kids in that class, and like who are you gunning for?
Next year, it'll more than likely be the same kids I was racing this year: Braden Baisley, Brody Amos, Doc Smith, we had a tight battle all year on the mini bikes, and we're all moving up together, so it should be a fun year.
Oh, that's awesome. And if you're racing pro motocross or amateur motocross, a lot of kids don't like each other. Like there's just all this competition BS where they just don't seem like they can like each other. I don't know for sure, but I feel like off-road riders are built a little different. Are you pretty good buddies with most of the kids you race?
Yeah, it's a lot more laid back. You know, we hang out together. Sure, there's like some things that we won't tell each other the day before the race or so, but you know, that's competitive, and we're all pretty decent buddies on and off the track, and
I like that. I'm not a drama kind of guy. I like just be friends, man. It's not that hard.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny. Like you said, Doc Smith. The funny thing about that is my son is Doc Smith, who's racing pro now in Supercross and Arena Cross and motocross and stuff. And I've always looked at the RPV, like the rider promotional points, and I'd seen that there's another kid out there named Doc Smith.
I would have put big money that was not the case.
Yeah, and so they both race in dirt bikes. And so this is somebody that you race against that you know?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty decent buddies with the kid.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever looked and ever noticed that there's another Doc Smith racing dirt bikes out there, but that's my youngest son out there. And it's just funny because I'd seen that and I'm like, and
it's a big coincidence.
I've never met anybody named Doc.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was funny.
He didn't think it was funny.
Yeah.
He did not think it was funny.
That's his buddy, man. Why are you talking crap about his buddy?
Yeah, talking crap about his buddy.
Well, let's talk about Minios, Caleb. How much moto do you actually ride during the year?
Pretty much every day we ride on a moto track, and if it's not a moto track, we ride behind Stu's house on a turn track. So, yeah, we train moto pretty much 365 days out of the year, and pretty much
20.
all I ride.
Yeah, and you've raced Loretta's once? Twice. Okay. All right. I knew in 23 you raced. You won a couple. Did you win titles in 23?
No, I won a moto and got third in another one.
Okay. I knew you had some pretty decent results at Loretta's. I wasn't sure about the overalls. But Minios this year, how do you feel about your results? I think, let's see, 250B Limited in Supercross, 32nd, 250B Limited Motocross, 23rd, and 450B Motocross, 19th. Were you happy with your results? Did you struggle with anything you didn't expect to?
Yeah, no, I was definitely not too stoked on the results. I mean, obviously, you know, you want to go out there and win, but just everything out there was so much different compared to the little bikes. You're either like little bikes, you're out there with a bunch of kids, but like once you move up, it's a lot heavier bikes, and you're racing adults that wanted a lot more than you. So it's definitely a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that adjustment to the big bike, it's going to take just a little bit when you've been riding the Super Mini so much. It's just going to take a couple months probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Caleb, with the how many kids are usually in the Super Mini class at the GNCCs?
I want to say 15 on the average. I'm not quite sure on that.
Okay, so let's say a question I'm getting to is what's sketchier, 20 of y'all going on the start for one line in the woods with like a dust cloud around you, or 40 of y'all going into a groomed corner? What do you find sketchier, GNCC starts or motocross starts?
I find motocross starts a little bit scarier because in the enduro it's all dead engine, so sometimes the bike might not start, and there goes like a couple people out of the field, and just moto, there's a lot more kids and usually a lot faster tracks too. So
yeah, and the motocross races are 5 laps, like 5 2-minute laps. So
yeah, that's true. It's all about the
first
start,
corner is a huge advantage. Where with what y'all do, you're a couple hours long race, you can make up starting 2 bikes behind from somebody.
The only reason I thought that is because I did a cross country race and it was like a dusty course, and I was in like 6th place going into the first after the start, and like it was just blind, like you couldn't see anything. And to me, that was way scarier than motocross.
I agree with that. Did you have something, TJ?
Yeah,
no, I was just going to make the comment.
Yeah. Caleb, going into I disagree with you because I race moto most of the time. So Yeah, going into the woods and an Ironman, you kind of usually go through the cornfields or whatever those are first, and you dive into that first section of woods. But as soon as it narrows down between the trees and there's 25 or 30 guys,
right there. Yeah,
I'm just like, screw
is
this.
Is it as narrow as Dirk's track?
It just depends on the course.
But
like Ironman narrowed down, as I recall, like that's where I crashed the first lap because I jumped off the course a little bit or outside the main line to go around everybody, and then there was like 3 trees down. And I tried to hop the trees, and I ate crap.
But, I mean, is the track as narrow as, like, for the bars as Dirk's track was?
Not at Ironman. Ironman's pretty open, but there are some pretty tight tracks. Like Snowshoe, I think, is pretty tight. Isn't it, Caleb? Like where your bars just barely fit between trees at times, or no?
Yeah, you'll have Snowshoe and Mountaineer are usually the 2 tightest ones.
Yeah, so those are the two I haven't wanted to do.
Those are 2 I do not want to do.
Yeah, but like Ironman and Big Buck are real flowy and pretty open for the most part. And then
I like that. I've never done one like that.
Yeah.
Everything I've always done has been like
tight, and
tight.
you're doing more like hard enduro type stuff.
Well,
around here.
or the cross country association that we have locally doesn't do 4-wheelers like the GCC does, which kind of widens the course out some.
But there's sections.
There's sections that aren't, but for the most part, the main trail, like there's no of those sections in the 10-mile loop that I've done. Yeah.
So Caleb, do the quads on all the tracks that y'all race? Do they do a majority of the track?
Yeah, they'll do. Say we have a 11-mile track, they'll probably do 9 or so miles of it. Just we'll have a few bike-only sections that are pretty tight that you couldn't fit a quad through. But the majority of the tracks, it's usually quad. Also.
I got you.
What type of terrain do you prefer? Because again, Snowshoe is one that everybody tells me you need to go.
Not prefer, excel on, because sometimes
I want to know what he likes.
No, if he says rocks and roots, you're going to hang up on him because I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I want to know what you prefer because everybody says I need to do Snowshoe, but I hate rocks. I'm out. I don't want to do it. So, but what do you enjoy the most?
Well, I enjoy riding the rocks. Honestly, it's just the racecraft. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you thinking. But I tend to do really, really well in the mud.
Okay. What about, like, most of these GNCCs are pretty high paced. Have you done any like hard enduros or even like trials type of riding? Like I talked to Cody Webb yesterday. A big press release coming tomorrow for Cody Webb, but that real slow pace stuff, like he did something like something of Roar. The event's called something of Roar. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
And it was like a 6-hour ride on one day, and he was the only guy that finished, and he finished with like 6 minutes to spare. So it took him almost 6 hours.
I'm out.
Like, have you ever done anything like that?
No, I've never really had the opportunity to do anything like that. Like if I ever see like a log just out in the middle of nowhere, I'll go out and hit it. I'll go on my way and hit it. I love doing stuff like that. But yeah, if I ever had the opportunity to do one, I'd love to do one.
So I was sitting there. I've always thought, these woods guys, they just don't know what it's like to ride an ice groom track. Like that's why they like. But he's racing Lorettas and doing all the.
I think most of these guys train on moto because there aren't that many places to go ride. Like a lot of off roads. A lot of them do ride moto.
They're just not like. They just got something wrong in their head. It's not right in the head. If they like rocks, I don't know what's wrong with them.
Dude, yeah. It's just a different skill set that we do not have.
I definitely do not.
Caleb, what's a bucket list event in your career that you want to do? I always ask guys, like, you got Erzberg, ISDE.
Yeah, you like rocks, go
Dakar,
to Carl's Diner.
What's one event that you have to do in your career?
I'd love to do ISD. Yeah. I'd love to go overseas, go race. I don't know. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, so it's weird to me. We ask the guys this regularly. I hear that kind of stuff, and maybe it's because I'm old and Baja used to be the thing. I never hear anybody say, I want to go do the Baja 1000.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really – I'm honestly not too familiar with it, honestly.
No, okay.
Yeah, you're an East Coast kid, so have you done much, like, desert riding? Have you gone out to the West Coast and rode in the high des?
No, I went out there once and I was like 6. I don't really remember much from it. So,
you need to make it like when you got some time to go there, especially like this time of year where they're getting rain.
Yeah,
and if you can get out there when it rains in the hills, like that's probably we have a list or we have a top 5 this week, and one of my top 5 places is riding in the hills in Southern California.
Top 5. Well, you know what? Let's ask him. Our top 5 topic this week is your 5 favorite places that you've ever rode. What's your favorite place you've ever spun laps?
That's a really hard one, honestly. I don't even know if I can narrow it down, to be quite honest with you.
Well, if you were told, you wake up in the morning and Stu says, you know, we're going to training, but we're going to go wherever you want to ride today. Anywhere in the country or the world you want to ride today, where would you go?
That's hard.
You know, it sounds biased, but we have a sand track down the road, and it's always completely beat. Like it's almost unrideable, but we'll go out there and do 40-minute motos on it, just hammer down.
Yeah, Caleb, that sounds like a blast.
Yeah, I do not like this kid. I don't like Caleb. Caleb's not. Yeah.
You're making us look bad.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I've done some 40-minute motos.
What's your favorite place to ride a beat-up sand track?
Beat up, like deep sand track. Yeah.
No, I'm out, Caleb.
Jeez.
Completely different person.
No, he's off-road to the core, man. No doubt. He's got a killer mullet. Like he's
you can see it in his picture.
He's born for it.
Keep it flowing, man.
I love it.
Awesome.
All right, so I got 2 more for you. Are you familiar with Randy Richardson from Michelin?
Oh, dude, I love Randy.
Randy's our good buddy. We love Randy too. He said we have to ask you about your alter ego, Larry. Tell us about Larry.
Yeah, I kind of saw that comment. I knew it was coming. Yeah. I guess apparently I have a tendency to flip her over backwards sometimes. Definitely not the first one, but the main one was the Verb Shred Tour a couple years back at the Shoals. I looped her out of the start, and he definitely hadn't let me live that one down.
Larry
and,
loop out.
Loop out Larry,
Larry,
yeah, Randy is some of the best people on planet Earth. We love Randy so much.
But when he gets a hold of something, he doesn't
doesn't let it go, does he?
You will never. You will be 37 years old, and you're still going to hear about being Larry Lupout.
Yeah.
All right, last one. We'll let you go. Again, Caleb Wood tonight, brought to you by Guts Racing. What are your long-term goals? Is it to be XC1 champion, or is there something else on your to-do list?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to be an XC1 champion. I'd love to go pro and off-road, but I've been dabbling in moto a good bit, but this year's just going to be a year of finding out exactly where I'm going to stack up in moto, and if I don't do too well there, I always have woods to go back to, and we're just going to dabble here and there and see exactly what takes off.
I like it. Caleb, dude, it's been a pleasure.
I wanted to ask him one last thing. So you just did Mini-O's, which is arguably one of the largest amateur nationals because of the fact that there's no qualification for it. Everybody can enter, and there's multiple divisions. And then you're a GNCC guy, which those have a lot of fan participation, and there's a lot of people that show up for those. What are those like? Which of those 2 environments do you like, or like things that you like about them, and things that you don't? Like, are they kind of the same group, or is it completely different? What are your takes on the 2 different crowds?
Yeah, it's definitely off-road is a lot more laid back. There's a lot more, I want to say rednecks, but there's just a lot more laid back people, genuine people, and not saying there's not any in moto, but there is some.
It's cutthroat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely is. Definitely. Well, Caleb, this has been a pleasure getting to know you a little bit. I hope to be at a few GNCCs this year, and I definitely, if I get out there, I'll definitely come by and do a one-on-one interview with you at the race. We can make fun of Stu a little bit and have some fun, but it's been really cool having you on here.
Yeah, thank you for letting me on.
Anytime, man. Take care, and good luck this season.
Okay.
All right, thanks. That's Caleb Wood, brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. A couple amateur kids. Just an amateur podcast.
Yeah.
We're amateur level.
That's cool.
We got one more.
That's cool that they're going out and doing.
Yeah, Avery's that kid's pro level.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yes.
He deserves a ride, and I'm looking forward to having Avery on here in just a little bit. But before we do that, we're going to jump into what we already mentioned, the T-Bolt USA top 5. If you are a pit bike enthusiast and love shredding around on a CRF 110, KLX 110, or whatever you have, you need tboltusa.com bookmarked on your web browser. T-Bolt USA is a pit bike supply site that has everything you need for your pit bikes, from BBR handlebars to D&M shocks and even full bikes from YCF and Pitster Pro bikes. T-Bolt USA has it all. They even have stuff for the Chinese bikes that are so difficult to find. You'll find pit bikes, engines, and parts at tboltusa.com. When was the last time you were on T-Bolt USA there, TJ?
Last week, I got some foot peg mounts coming. Talked to Vince about that, and I think I'm gonna make a video out of it. I think it'll be cool because they like
with T-Bolt.
But well, yeah, because of the foot peg mounts. Like I know it's people who aren't into this. Foot peg mounts from the factory are really weak, and they're great for kids. But you put somebody fat like me on them, you bend them.
Somebody that's not made for the bike.
Exactly. So or you rip them out of the cases.
Yeah.
So they have some great product to be able to fix that, remedy that problem. You know, at a lot cheaper price than ripping cases. You know, the bottom half of your cases
that's
out.
Very true.
And so I got that coming. Plus, which is important to me, the foot peg mounts have a kickstand.
Oh yeah, you've talked about that a lot
on the last show, so that's good. Yeah,
and they're the
Big
only
plus.
people that I've seen that have a kickstand mount for the foot pegs. Which I know it sounds crazy, but it's still a pit bike. We race it, we have fun, but you want to get off of it, put the kickstand down. You don't want to have to find a stand for it. So,
well, this week's T-Bolt USA top 5. What we said on the last show.
Get my list.
This was a listener suggestion. You want to know our top 5 places to ride that we've rode.
Or that we have rode?
We've kind of done, yeah. It was places we rode.
Did you not do your list? Are you about to make it up on the spot?
No.
We've done our top 5 favorite tracks, I think, in the past. But what we decided to do was 2 places locally.
That's right.
3 not locally. You said you didn't have that many, so I told you could swap it. You could go 3 local, 2 that aren't so local. We did get a couple of emails on this. F. Flowers said Zaka Station. He said A1. So he says top 5 tracks. So maybe either he didn't understand the topic exactly.
Maybe he rode A1.
Yeah, he might have rode A1.
I guess he might have. I rode A1.
I mean, come on.
Saddleback, Indian Dunes, and Spillway Park. That's his list.
I never heard of Spillway.
He also sent in top 5 movies, which last time we did underrated movies, or I think.
Yeah.
But we'll give
movies
his top 5.
Overrated.
We're gonna go
overrated,
ahead.
yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and give him his list since he wrote in because we appreciate the participation. Number 1 on any Sunday. Number 1.
Yeah.
On a Sunday 1 because there's more than one.
Yeah.
But it's also his number 1. That makes sense.
Fair enough.
Top Gun, Star Wars, Titanic, Bennett's War. Come on, dude. Bennett's War was terrible.
Can I throw in there that when somebody says
he said
on
they were
any Sunday,
overrated? But he just said top 5 movies, so I don't know.
Oh, but he's probably talking about.
He can't be saying overrated because he put Star Wars. That's impossible.
He put on any Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. I think Bennett's War it's a riding movie, so maybe that's. But then why wouldn't on it?
I've never seen Bennett's War.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a
wait.
typical.
Isn't that the one from the guy from the drug movie or whatever he was in? Like
We're getting way off.
No. The main character was the guy from.
I don't know, bro.
He was a war hero and he rode a dirt bike. Something like that.
Hold on.
Oh boy.
What the heck was the name of that show?
I don't know, man.
Breaking Bad. He was the guy from Breaking Bad, right?
No, not in Bennett's War. No.
Oh.
No. Wrong guy.
I got to look this up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Jared Harris said, for my top 5 places to ride, my 2 locals would have to be MC Moto Park and Sunset Ridge MX, both in Illinois. National, I'd have to say Baja Acres, Golden Pines, rest in peace, and Big Springs MX down in Alabama. As for the challenge part in my subject line, hearing Scotty on the show say he hasn't traveled much other than local spots, and I feel that goes for a lot of people that ride. I've emailed about this before, but my group of buddies, we try to plan 1 weekend a month where we travel somewhere cool for a weekend to ride. I wish more people would do so as the experiences are so worth it. Plus, you get to see some different tracks. I challenge you guys at the show and everyone, especially at it, as it's getting cold in the Midwest, to load up and hit a winter trip with the crew, and I'm sure you won't regret it. And Jared, I agree. We did the Thunder Valley trip. We do need to do something else like that.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's actually a really good challenge.
We should go do it.
Definitely can't do it once a month like he says him and his buddies do.
Well, they're probably not going across the country for once a month. But
I think we do. It'd be a good idea to set up a couple a year.
I'd like to go do Like I'd like for the whole group to go do something like either Baja or Minio, something big like that. That'd be cool. Like, don't care about how it finished.
Minios would be cool. I was thinking about that.
What about
I'd want to go
Ironman
do
GNCC?
Minios. I would do that.
Is there rocks and roots?
Nope.
Uh,
There's a few roots, but not
roots
a lot.
is fine, but I mean,
I want to do in
then there's a few rocks when you go down the creek bed for a little bit, but not like
Barnwell.
Barnwell. No.
I really want to do a GNCC, and that seems like it's the best one. So
I agree. That are big bucks.
When
to
is
me.
it? Like next year?
Well, there's two
they
of them.
just
It'd be
had
the end
it,
of, like, what was it? August?
11
September?
months from now.
Okay.
October? Yeah.
Well, as it gets closer,
The
let's
schedule's
figure
not
it
out yet.
Gotcha.
All right. Who wants to go first on their top 5?
Go ahead, TJ.
You obviously have to make yours up as we go.
Nope, I don't.
So no particular order. Just riding in Colorado in the mountains. Like I don't know if I can consider that like that's on my list.
Okay. What about it?
Just going through the trails, all the single track, the scenery, I mean there's rocks there, but it wasn't like the same thing as like Barnwell or whatever. But I just really enjoyed there's just I don't know, camping for like 3 days out in the mountain. It was just awesome. Cahuilla is one of my favorite places, the dirt bike tracks that I've ridden in Southern California. And I know a lot of people don't like it. I must have been there twice when it was prepped great twice. You know what I mean? Because I've only been there twice.
Sure.
And like I said earlier, riding in the hills in Southern California, local would be, I just love Redbug. Redbug, Red Bug. It's in Nacogdoches.
I think I've been there once.
It's a terrible track, but it's so much fun. It's like not groomed. It's hard. But it's so much fun. It flows real well. It's just a backyard track at this. When you pull in there, like in the background, you can hear the Sanford and Son music.
It's like I went out there on a pit bike once, and like I jumped everything on the pit bike.
It's so much fun. It is. And then Montalba. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. That track was so much fun. I don't know if you ever got to ride there.
I barely remember that track, but yeah, I did.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. That's a good one. That's a good pull.
That was a real. They just did a really good job with that track. So I missed that track. It was how it all went down. So
you want to go?
Yeah. Lake Whitney.
Oh.
Does that count as a local?
Good, yes.
No, it's more than 2 hours away, I think. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. But Lake Whitney was a good pull. I didn't even think about Whitney.
I'll give it to you as a travel track, I guess.
When I rode it, it was
in Texas,
it was like a
Texas is big, bro.
It was a winter series race right before the Spring Nationals, so everybody was treating it like a warm-up race for the Spring Nationals.
Yeah, so it was like kind of laid back, but also kind of people pushing.
It was a lot of people, so the track was destroyed.
Oh, I got you.
So it was rough, and it was my first race on a YZ250, and it scared the crap out of me. But the track itself is beautiful. Yeah. You go through, you drive through a whole game ranch to get to it. It was awesome. I'll do that one. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say Swan. In the early 2000s, I still like Swan now, but Swan like 2001, 2002, 2003, that track was crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't really riding a lot then, so I don't know.
I mean, they used to let you ride 4-wheelers there back then.
In 2003, really?
Yeah, they used to have 4-wheel races. And then obviously we went to Thunder Valley. That got to put that on the list. Yeah. And then I actually have always really enjoyed our local track, Athens MX.
The old track?
The old one.
Track,
the old one's cool. Like it's got a lot of jumps. It's just different.
It's different than any other track. It is.
And then I also really like River Valley.
Really?
Yeah, River Valley's cool.
Yeah.
I've always had a good time out there.
I always struggle with that track.
Yeah. And then I'll put Three Palms on my list as well.
Okay.
Because you have multiple options. And
I've only ever ridden the main front track.
Yeah. It gets kind of blown out, but when it's good, it's good.
Like on race days. I've only ever been there for race days. I've never been there just to ride.
It's good.
Again, our email is motoxpodshow@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your lists. We can read them on the next show. So get those in. I want to hear the places you like to ride, what you like about them. Maybe give us a little description. We'll read, if we get enough of them, we'll read what we can. But we would really enjoy that. All right, so my local ones are Billadilla.
I should have put that on there. Yeah.
It was on my list, but I think Montalba was better.
Yeah.
And then I struggle between. There's a couple. I got too many on my list. I have more than 5.
Oh, go ahead. This is your show.
Johnsonville has always been one of my favorite places, but it hasn't changed in so long that I kind of chose to not put it on my list for now.
Wow.
Johnsonville's good.
I'm actually shocked that it made honorable mention, but didn't actually make it.
Yeah, but only because it hasn't changed in so long. But I love the dirt there and the way it's prepped.
Yeah.
But I decided to not use it just because it hasn't changed. So I went Cycle Land.
Cycle Land. They won in NAC.
Yeah, which is basically like a
It's not
what do you call it? Not a.
Is it?
It's not a moto track. It's woods.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a club.
Yeah.
It's like a club and it's all these single tracks.
I got to get back on the list.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love that place. Three Palms was on my list for the local. I put it under my locals. But then as far as travel, Millville and Club MX.
I bet Club was cool.
Even though I got hurt there. And I also put Cycle Ranch. But
I've always wanted to go
4.5, 5 hours,
Yeah.
so I figured that's a travel track.
That track was fun. Have you been there?
No, I never have. I've
yeah.
always wanted. I've seen videos of it, and I've always
Really
wanted
cool
to.
up and down hills
hurt
and
there,
stuff
too.
like that. Yeah.
It's
I got hurt there too.
yeah.
Oh god!
Yep.
I've got a.
This Brett Shaw's bike I broke. Sorry.
Never mind. I drew a blank. Go ahead.
It's on there. I could play it, but I don't want to.
Don't.
Steve plays it enough. You didn't have nothing else?
I
That's
thought
it?
of
That's all
one,
you
and then
got?
I forgot it. It was honorable mention Clearview.
Dude, that track
Was that the old Trey?
Yeah,
Trey Frost?
Trey-
I never rode
yeah.
there.
That track was like it had like
No, there's no jumps.
They had a one rhythm
But it was
section.
up. It was up and down a big.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was actually like it was the coolest thing Trey ever built.
Yeah, it was cool.
All right. Well, that is our T-Bolt USA top 5 this week. We don't have a topic for next week. I meant to ask you guys before the show started. Think about it while I read the Barnett clutches.
I like how y'all both look at me, and then the first thing I say, you're just
one of
going
you
to
come
rip
up with
apart.
a top 5 or MotoXpodshow@gmail.com if you guys can give us a great topic for a top 5.
I was thinking about this.
Okay.
Well, we can obviously work out the details after the show, but would there be a way where we could post our results and have people vote on them, and then at the
Results
next week
of what?
our top 5, like we write down what our top 5 was, and then the listeners vote on it, and then when we do the
Basically,
segment the next
can
week,
you do more?
then we do. I'll do it if I can figure out how to do it. But then the next week we're like, oh, these are the results from the last week's top 5. The listeners chose that Scotty or Darkside's top 5 was the best one. I don't
Why
know.
don't
I'd
we
be
just
kinda-
say that? Just hit our email up and tell us whose top 5 was the best.
Well, then you'd have to count them all. But if we had a way to like make like a poll, like a Twitter
Yeah,
poll
we
or
count
something,
all 3 of them.
Do you have a Twitter account?
you do.
Do
show
you have
does.
a Twitter
The
account?
show does.
No, yeah, it does actually.
Okay, well, here you go.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. Great.
I told you it's going to be more
Hey,
work for you.
Okay, to the listeners, out of the show, half of the stuff has been like, hey, we need some ideas to kind of
Yeah.
spruce the show. We're going to 2025, some changes. And then I come up with some ideas and it just crapped on like I'm
More
a crap
stuff
factory.
for me to do on
I don't
social.
know.
All right. Barnett clutches. This is going to be a new segment. No more clutch performance of the week because
Thanks,
Scotty
Scotty.
hated it.
Thanks, Scotty.
Barnett
Thank you
Dirt
so
Digger clutch
much.
kits have 75 years of experience behind every kit. Engineered for maximum performance, Dirt Digger clutch kits feature friction materials formulated exclusively for Barnett. Get yours at barnettclutches.com and get 10% off with code VITALMX, all in caps. All right, so from now on, Barnett Clutches is going to be the Barnett Clutches Pick One, where we're going to give some examples of a couple things, and we will discuss which one we think is better or why we think it's better. For example, next week on the next show, the topic will be McGrath versus Ricky Carmichael. I thought that'd be a good one for discussion.
It's not saying who's better. It's you pick one. Like which?
Well, why do you think this one's better?
Why
or
do you
why
pick?
would-
You don't even have to think it's better. It's just why do you pick that one?
The King versus the Goat.
Wouldn't you
So
pick the better one?
You don't have to.
you could pick the worst one.
That seems like something to be right up your alley.
But listen, MotoXpodshow@gmail.com. So send
the
in
worst
your thoughts on the Barnett Clutches Pick One, McGrath versus RC for next week. This week, I figured since it's the first one, we would just do something pretty simple because I didn't give the guys a heads up on it too much. So this week is chest protector or no chest protector?
I got a top 5 for next week, though.
Okay, what's your top 5 for next week?
Top 5 reasons why iPhone's better than Android.
Oh, I love it. Why iPhone
Or
is
no,
better.
you pick one, Android or iPhone.
No,
I
this
mean,
is top 5.
That will be
Oh,
for a
top
later.
five.
That's actually a good pick one for down the road, but
Yeah.
we'll do why it's better next week, unless a listener has a better
Yes.
subject.
Yeah.
MotoXpod@gmail.com. Okay. Chest protector or no? Scotty?
well, I wear one of the under ones,
Okay.
but absolutely.
Why?
Well, first of all, Roos hurts like a bitch, and maybe that makes
I don't
me
know
a
why you have
bitch
to use
for
that kind of
saying,
language,
Yeah,
for
but
saying that.
It's
But
just, I mean, it just goes too far all the time.
yeah, I'm the only one that's ever dropped a curse word on this show.
oh, dropping curse words. Stop cursing. Why are you cursing?
Exactly. I don't know. It's weird when I wear the
Got me
one
laughing like Muttley.
that's underneath.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes,
if
we
I
know.
just feel I
Manly?
like the tightness of it.
Okay.
I like
feels
feeling
like he's
Why do
getting a
you
hug 'cause nobody will
choose a
hug
chest
him.
protector? Is it because Roos hurts?
comfort
is that
thing.
the only?
Yeah.
Is that
No,
the,
it's just I'm used to it, and
Yeah.
I like the extra. I just like the extra protection.
right?
I just
you
feel
like the
I
under-
feel like I put on armor when I put it on, even though
Like
it's
you're
not
going to
really
battle.
It's not really protecting anything, but
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's a sense of security in
Yeah.
a way. Like I psychologically feel
Sure.
different when I
Jamie's-
ride with it or without it.
Jamie's going to be a no chest pro.
He wears the underneath
I wear
one.
one every time.
Just the underneath one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I don't consider those chest pros really. I guess is yours plastic?
It has plastic on it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's plastic.
Oh,
Mine has
okay.
plastic.
I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about those foam ones.
No, like the shirts.
Like the shirt thing.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I can see what you're
No,
saying.
I
Okay.
tried
wear
one of those.
I
I have
wear
one.
like a
Just any kind of body armor,
Mm.
chest protector, anything that. Yeah.
yeah. I wear a
Roost
cutoff.
deflector.
I like a
Yeah.
cutoff sleeve Under Armour, and then I put the chest protector.
I know what you're talking
over
about
it.
now. I
'Cause
thought
if
you were
I
just
don't,
talking
it
about
rubs
the
my nipples
foams.
off. But
Let's talk about the shirt with the foam on it, basically.
oh, my dad used to have one of those. They're not terrible.
Yeah.
What about you?
Chest protector on big bikes, nothing on tennis shoes on pit bikes. So
What kind of shoes?
tennis shoes.
Teeny shoes.
I thought he said tenny.
I said tennis
Tenny?
shoes.
Tenny for his heels.
Maybe we
My
can conversate
he
about
wears
it later
he
and
wears
figure it
his
out.
tenny shoes
Did
when
I
he's
say
running.
conversate?
You did say
when he-
conversate. I'm gonna keep.
He wears
thinking
his
it.
tenny shoes when he's running up heels to help his heel.
What? When did I say conversate?
Earlier at the beginning of the show. you
Early in the
said-
show, you said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said that's not a word.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't listen to half of what he says anyway.
So yeah, I am definitely a chest pro guy. I like the under the jersey ones.
I'm a full chest protector with like the side.
Dude, I wore those. I still have one hanging in. I have one of the EVS BJ2, the ballistic jacket.
Yeah, well, so I don't have the jacket, but I
That's what
have
I had.
the chest protector. It's the hard plastic, the Alpine Star with the gel underneath it, and then
Okay.
it has like the I don't
Kitty
know,
belt?
No, not kidney
Oh.
belt. Like they're loose on you, but they're like a hard shell around my love handles.
Yes.
Okay.
Tighten them in. Yeah.
All
But
right.
it doesn't tighten them in. Like, it's loose.
Yeah.
But it just protects them. Those things are sensitive. Them love handles out there is sensitive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I definitely used to wear that the BJ2 thing with the freaking elbow guards, the
Oh, I
shoulder
remember that.
guards.
I
remember
couldn't do all
have
that.
one. I
Dude,
have
I
one
was
of those.
full blown, but now I'm wearing the Alpine Star, the new one. I'm forgetting what it's called off the top of my head, but I like just the real thin
But it's
one.
just the front one.
No, it's got front and back.
Yeah.
And then it has a little bit of side protection because I've cracked ribs so many times. I like to try to have a little bit of side protection, even though it doesn't seem to help a lot. And as Scotty said, yeah, Roos hurts, dude. Even in the freaking or the chest pros, it still hurts.
yeah.
So
Is it me, or does it just seem like the chest protector, not chest protector, is more of a pro or fast kid debate? Like I feel like most old vets and slow people wear them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't really pay
Well,
a
we
lot.
have to go to
But,
work
like-
Monday.
Yeah, like I feel like the people that would say no chest protector and be like, oh well, if you're wearing a chest protector, then in your head you didn't pull the whole shot and you're already beat.
Oh, I never
like
heard that.
I feel like that's the kind of people that would not
Yeah.
wear a chest protector.
No, I'm a chest protector guy. So let us know what you guys think. MotoXpodshow@gmail.com.
I definitely think that the jersey chest protector is outdated though.
I am outdated.
I don't like those. When I see pros wearing them, I'm like, why?
I had the Thor one. The Thor one
Yeah.
was pretty sweet.
I wear one over my gear.
Like I used to have the old Fox one with the arms.
I take the arms thing off. But
Yeah, I used to have one with the arms on it.
Oh,
I
That's
don't have the
sure.
shoulder pieces, but I wear it. I mean, y'all see me ride. I
Yeah.
wear it outside all the
Yeah.
time. But I also wear
All right.
like a mouth guard, like what do you call it?
like a yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is
Mouth
the Barnett Clutches pick one next week. Jeremy McGrath versus Ricky Carmichael. You guys better get involved in that one. MotoXpodshow@gmail.com. Also want to thank ProX. ProX is rooted in racing from motocross to off-road and supporting teams such as Ampro, Yamaha, Pro Circuit Kawasaki, and SLR Honda. They've been supplying quality components for almost 50 years, from complex jobs like engine rebuilds to simple maintenance, including filters, chains, and sprockets. ProX aims to bridge the gap between OE quality and affordability, and that's just what they do. You can find them at ProX at your local dealer or visit pro-x.com and search for parts for your bikes. As I've said, I've ordered some chains and sprockets for them and oil filters from them. Great company. Appreciate their support. So let me work on getting Avery.
Do you wear your chest protector when you mountain bike? Do you wear like a guard thing?
No.
I think they have like a mountain biking one.
Yeah,
I
I've never. I don't.
In case you like hit
Never
a
wear
tree
chest
or
protection
something.
on a mountain bike. No.
Think of like Hamlin. Oh, yeah, is he on there?
Yeah, but go ahead. Finish your
I was
statement.
just thinking of Hamlin back in the day on Suzuki with the big over the chest, with the like the gold shoulders. Anyways.
All right, our next guest of the night is on the phone. He's going to be brought to you by ETS Racing Fuels, which was forged from the heat of competition nearly 30 years ago, developing purpose-engineered fuel for high-profile teams and highly competitive series. We have been the power behind many podium wins ever since. Teams using ETS Racing Fuels have won more than 50 national and world titles, and we continue to forge new alliances and partnerships across motorsports. ETSRacingFuels.com to find a local distributor. Teams like Factory KTM, Rockstar Husky, TLD Gas, Next Level KTM, Team Solitaire all trust ETS Racing Fuels. Big news coming for 2025. Also, for some new teams, tonight, ETS Racing Fuels brings us former NSA Yamaha rider Avery Long. What's up, Avery?
What's up? Thanks for having me on.
Dude, glad to have you on. You have had a rough year. Great racing results.
Sorry, Avery.
No, great racing
Always
results.
starts off so negative. So
It's not
negative.
negative, man. He's persevering, and I think there's some good things coming his way. But this kid, guys, is so freaking talented. Has done really well at a lot of these amateur nationals, including Minios this week. But unfortunately, your team, NSA Yamaha, is closing their doors, Avery, and you have been really kind of just left out in the cold a little bit, struggling to find an opportunity. And with a kid with your results and talent, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely, I personally don't get it. And I know that there's, a lot of people that would agree with me. And I feel like I deserve a shot with a team at the professional level. But yeah, it sucks just kind of being left in the dark and really not knowing your next move.
Yeah, 100%. So just to remind people, at Loretta's this year in Open Pro Sport, you were second. You went 7-2-3. And in 250 Pro Sport, you were second, going 2-3-5. I think you won titles in 2022, a couple titles at Loretta's. And then rode really well at Minios this year. Third in 250A Supercross. I think fifth in 250A MX. What happened in that second moto?
Got landed on first lap, actually.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, went down first lap, and right away, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to, continue the race, but, kind of cruised around the first lap and then made it to the finish line. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go again. So just rode I guess my own race at that point. Everybody else was gone, and
yeah.
I think I got up to 9th or something like that.
Yep.
But still, just tried to show heart, and did what I could with what I was dealt that moto.
But you salvaged a 5th overall, and then you won both the 450 Pro Sport classes at Minio. So clearly, a kid with lots of talent. You've been proving that for years. So yeah, how have you mentally stayed positive dealing with this, trying to find a team? Because again, NSA had your back for a long time, and unfortunately they just, like I said, they're shutting the team down, and that's unfortunate. But it wasn't like they were like, okay, we're done with you. They were done as a team, and yeah, you were just kind of left trying to figure things out.
Yeah, it's first off, NSA, like they've been great to me through this whole deal. Like they're gonna help me out if I need through Christmas with bikes and stuff like that, and until I can hopefully find something. But it definitely hasn't been easy mentally at all. I mean, there's been plenty of days where, you know, I have thought, you know, is this sport for me, or, you know, is it time to kind of, you know, think about the next chapter or what? But, yeah, I mean, I just been trying to stay positive. I work with a mental coach, so I've been talking to him a lot about things, and I mean, he's been great for me. So
Good.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, but we're getting through it.
I mean, you'll get there. They're going through adversity to train you for things that'll happen to you in the future. So you'll be good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask about Minios in particular, they may have done this in the past. I seem to notice it for the first time this year, where in the SX portion that you guys had your own kind of pro section. What did you? I don't know if is that the first time they've done that, or is that new?
Yeah, that was the first time.
Okay.
They did that.
What'd you think of that? And then did it provide the correct separation for you guys in the pro class?
Yeah, I thought it was cool just to have you know, the lap times be a little bit longer, and just to create a little more separation, and you know with it being a rhythm section and a whoop section. The whoops were pretty dang small, but it still created passing points for people that know how to hit them, and you know that can hit them. It definitely made a little bit of a separator there. But yeah, I thought it was cool, and you know, I respected you know, the promoters and stuff like that for trying to do something different for the pro classes.
And they even gave y'all a different section in the MX portion too. I just remembered that too.
Yep.
It had that really cool double. Would that have caused problems if the C-class kids and stuff had been trying to hit that double?
Yeah, that was actually where I got landed on.
Oh
first
yeah,
lap. So,
it was a weird jump. Looked like.
Yeah, it was. First lap is a little squirrely, but once you know people got separated and stuff like that, it was just fine.
So coming in with all these changes, I've noticed watching a lot of the amateur kids, especially the top kids who are real fast, the moment they hit adversity, things get hard. You know, a lot of them fall by the wayside. Like, just not to throw names out there, but like LeBlanc and those kind of guys, where things got really tough for them, they just said, you know what, screw it, it's not worth it. But it sounds like your plan is to push on through. Are you just gonna try to get ready for Supercross, like hell or high water? I'm going to be there racing. What's your plan?
Yeah, as of right now, I plan on doing the Supercross Futures. So I just got back on Supercross again today, and just gonna try and log as many laps on that, and get ready for the first round of that. I think you know, not a lot of people know that I can, you know, quite ride Supercross yet, just with me getting hurt last year and missing out on futures and stuff like that. So I feel like I got a lot to prove. Just you know, everybody knows I can ride outdoors, but not everybody, but some people are unsure of my Supercross skills. So I feel like I got a lot to prove this winter, you know, on the Supercross side of things.
Well, just remember going into that, it's like the way this sport is, it's kind of a sport of attrition. You have guys that make long careers because they're able to, you know, keep pushing on and keep their head down to the grindstone when times get hard like this.
Yep.
Well, I want to go back to something you said. You said you questioned, is this sport for me? And I think that's really interesting. Such an early point in your career that's already hit you because of this situation you've put in. But I think, like TJ just said, working through adversity, you talking about working with a mental coach, those things, these roadblocks or these hiccups, whatever bumps in the road, are going to make you a better person, a better athlete. But I do kind of, when you say you ask yourself, is this sport for me? Was that something you really, like, you sat down with your family and said, hey, maybe I do need to think about something else? Was that really you had that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to my parents on a few separate occasions, just kind of bringing it up. Never really got super in depth with it because it was always like, okay, let's just get through Minios. We can, talk about things after that. And then, so I just kept pushing through it and going for it. And then, got through Minios and, started kind of getting a little bit clear head and, just as of right now, this is still what I love to do and still what I want to do as as a career option. So, but yeah, it definitely crossed my mind. Try not to think about it too much now, but
sure.
Yeah, it was definitely crossed my mind a couple times for sure.
Yeah, I was curious what your parents might have said, and if they're supportive. I've met your parents a little bit. And I know Michael Lindsay from Vital MX has helped you out a ton, and so I know you have people in your corner. I was just curious what their responses were, but you kind of answered that. But I do really think that this is going to be something that's going to, in the end, be a good situation. It wasn't handed to you easy. You're having to work through this stuff, and you're still figuring it out. And I think you'll come back and prove your abilities real soon. I know you won't be able to answer this, but I heard a rumor today that you might have something. There's some positive things coming your way. I think we'll hear some opportunities coming your way in the next week or two. So you're not done yet. That's all. I think everything's going to work out just fine for you.
Yep, and in the end, it builds character too.
Yes.
So, but if I can take that away from it, I'll do that gladly.
Good for you.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. The fact that you were mature enough to have that self-reflection, which happens in any adult's life, that you have to look at yourself in the mirror sometimes, and the fact that you went there and then decided that it is something you still want to do, I think that's great, man. That's, I think a lot of people at your level need to do that. I mean, it's such a big jump to go from winning super minis and winning 250B and stuff to going and doing it and getting a ride. So I think I think that's awesome story, and I'm hoping for the good news and looking forward to see what you guys come up with this next season or two.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Avery Long tonight, brought to you by ETS Racing Fuels. What do you think you need to work on the most? What I know you said you work with a mental coach. You're on troll training, correct?
Yep.
And then I think you've been riding at Club MX a bunch. Is that where you train at most of the time?
I was there at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And then I went and I've been down at MTF right now, riding with them and just riding some different dirt and working with Lil B here. So yeah, it's been good and fun.
So between you're off the bike training, you're on the bike training, and the mental work, what are a couple things that you need to improve on, and what are a couple things you feel you excel at?
I feel like one of the main things is diet. I mean, you can always pick apart your diet a little bit better, and just me being pretty young still, there's definitely a few things that I don't really understand and that I'd like to learn more about and kind of hone in more on. But I think that is one. Obviously fitness can always be better. And I think something that I need to work on is just I still think intensity on the bike. I kind of get kind of caught up into a little bit of a trance sometimes where I'm just out there riding during the week instead of pushing, and I feel like I need to get better than that and better at that, and I have definitely come a long ways compared to what I used to be for sure, but I definitely think there's still more in the tank for me, just on sprint laps and stuff like that, and just kind of getting comfortable pushing that pace on outdoors, but especially Supercross for me.
Do you find that hard or difficult to work on just during the week? It would be much easier if you could get gate drops every week to work on intensity, but working on intensity during the week, you're kind of just riding the groove, the main line most of the time, and Yeah, I would think it'd be very difficult if you're not getting actual gate drops.
Yeah. This summer I rode out at the goat farm with Star and stuff too, and I just feel like logging laps with them day in and day out helped with it a ton. And I feel like I've gotten, like I said, I've gotten better from where I was, but I still feel like there's definitely room for improvement.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting these days with you guys. The competition is so tight, and you guys all have fast bikes, and y'all are all on training regimens. It seems like 20, 30 years ago it was who could twist the throttle harder, but nowadays y'all are all twisting the throttle as hard as it goes. Yeah. So it's very interesting that you guys at the level that y'all are, at like 16, 17 years old, it's just like, okay, well, I'll just send it. Well, you got 20 guys just sending it. So it's definitely interesting that you guys have to develop that at that young part of your career.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Avery, a couple more things I want to talk to you about before we let you go.
Yep.
We mentioned NSA closing their doors, but again, I want you to just talk about how helpful those guys were, what they meant to your program. I think they helped you through at Minios, right? They were still part of the program?
Yeah, they got me through Minios.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they've been, absolutely amazing to me. I signed with them halfway through the year in 2022, and yep. I mean, ever since it's, just, I mean, they're family now. Danny's been absolutely amazing. Jake's been awesome. Ed, I can't thank him for everything, and even Donnie. Everybody's been great to me. We worked really hard over the last few years to get to where I was from, being a kid that, not really a whole lot of people, were willing to take a chance on. And, they seen something that, not a lot of people really had seen at the time. And, I like to say they made lemonade out of it, It's been amazing, and I'm just truly grateful for everything that they've done for me and my family over the last few years.
Very nice. I have to ask you, does the situation you've been put in these last couple months give you even more motivation to go out and succeed and to show everybody, including Yamaha Star Racing, like this is what you missed out on?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it gives me a lot of fuel to the fire for sure. I'm definitely going to take it as motivation and move on forward and, prove everybody wrong,
Sure. Yeah. I think that's the only thing you can do, right? Use that to fuel the fire.
How do you use that? Do you personally use that to fuel your fire? Like having the chip on your shoulder is great, but at the same time, like not letting that cause you to make maybe a poor decision or do something too much. How do you internally kind of process that?
I don't feel like I'm a smart enough rider and mature enough rider to not get into that I want to say dumb mindset to where I make that dumb mistake because I'm trying to do something that I don't have any business doing. But I mean, it just makes me want to work that much harder day in and day out, and make sure I'm dotting my I's and crossing my T's as much as I can.
Not pulling a Vince Freeze.
Jeez.
I went there. I'm sorry. I took it. Too soon.
All right. I have 2 Vital MX forum questions for you, and then we'll let you go.
Yep.
MX Addict says, can you ask Avery about being on the 450? He seems to struggle with the power of the 250F due to his size and style. Do you feel like that's the case?
I don't. I think that it's just happened that my results have been just happen to be better on the 450. I mean, I can ride both bikes just as good. I can do just as fast lap times on either one of them. Yeah, I feel like I'm just as good on the 250 as I am the 450. You know.
Yeah. Okay. And I was just looking the second question. You can't really answer this. We sort of touched on it a little bit. NSP139 asks, obvious question, does Avery have any rides lined up? The kid is way too talented to not have something. We've already talked about that. But, I'm going to say you're probably a little more positive today than you were a week ago.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So, guys, stay tuned. Avery's going to come away with something. I guarantee you this kid's way too good. But, Avery, man, congratulations on great amateur results this year. And obviously, you're just a good kid, man. I always enjoy talking to you. And I know the good things are coming your way. So I appreciate the attitude you're having and the positivity. And I look forward to seeing what you make of this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me on and, giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, Michael Lindsay, my boss, he reached out and he's like, hey, we need to get Avery on. And we hadn't talked to you in a little while. So I thought it was a fantastic idea. And thank you so much for giving us some time. It's
so
a little late.
Michael actually had a good idea.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not. He made a suggestion, and I made it into a good idea somehow.
There you go.
But, I know it's a little late on the East Coast right now, so thank you for staying up and talking to us. All right, man. You have a good night.
No worries. Thank you.
Yep. See ya.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, that is Avery Long, brought to you tonight by ETS Racing Fuels.
Is Avery Long the next Dungey? Had a couple of shining moments in the amateurs, but kind of looked over, and then somebody
looked over? He was pulled up.
Well, they always
in the
say
B class.
He was.
Roger kind of.
There was no light on him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Roger was. It was like everybody was kind of like, "What are you doing, Roger?" And then a year later, he won a title. So
maybe in that regard, maybe
a little underappreciated, a little overlooked because of there's the.
I'd say
the
definitely underappreciated because teams passed on him. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Yamaha Star Racing took Caden Dudney instead of Avery.
Yep.
And I think Avery had the opportunity, and then they gave it to Caden. Caden instead.
There's a lot of mouths to feed out there.
Of course, Caden's super talented too. So it's hard to say, right? I mean, what's the right decision? How do you make that decision? But Avery's definitely getting overlooked. It's unfortunate there just aren't that many opportunities, really.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, FXR is designed by racers for racers with industry-leading fit, finish, and performance. Progression is the name of the game. With every new piece created, and FXR, we push our brand to the next level to provide you with the best products possible. It's used by Muck-Off, FXR, Club MX Yamaha, Mike Brown, Brock Tickle, Chris Kiefer, and many more. FXR has core motor roots, so you should visit fxrracing.com or go to your local dealership to see the complete 2025 lineup, including Helium and Revo. I wear this stuff all the time. It's very well made. I am very fond of my FXR gear. Why are you smiling?
Nothing.
No, say it. I want you to say it now.
I like my FXR gear too.
Oh yeah, it's good. It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks almost
better than your Moose.
It looks almost as good as my FXR gear.
It does.
It's really, really close.
Real close.
Did you go out and buy the same gear as him?
No, but move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. We'll tell you off the air.
Yeah.
We'll tell you off the air.
It's funny.
Off the air.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, we're going to jump into our EVS picks. So EVS, over the past 39 years, EVS Sports has established itself as the leader in innovation and technology when it comes to designing protection gear for today's motocross riders. Athletes like RJ Hampshire, Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Norrin, Axel Hodges, and Travis Pastrana all wear EVS when they race, ride, or whatever Travis decides to do that day. So check them out at evs-sports.com. Use the code VITALMX30. That's all caps to save and gear up like the pros. We just had the Chest Pro discussion. We just talked about most vets probably wear chest protectors.
Mine's an EVS.
EVS has them all day long. Might as well save, what was it, 30%? No, it says Vital MX30. I'm assuming it's 30%.
Bro, their knee braces are awesome.
Yeah, their knee braces, their knee guards.
So good. Knee braces are so good.
A lot of people that don't like knee braces love the TP109 knee guards or the Slaco.
Something a little like under the cover people don't realize. They also have really, really, really good gloves.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ridden with their riding gloves.
I don't think I have used
really
their gloves because I'm so in love with the FXR gloves.
I really like their.
You could wear the EVS gloves with any gear because they're like gears. So
That follows
I
the
wear,
code.
I wear wrist braces that usually cover the
Yeah,
logo on my
me
gloves.
too,
So
yeah.
I wear whatever gloves I want because of my wrist braces.
But
But
the EVS gloves are really
Yeah.
comfortable.
I really like my
Nice.
EVS socks too.
EVS makes some good
They
socks.
make good. They just make good
They
stuff.
make
they're
good
not
stuff.
socks; they're like the leggings.
Yeah.
Neck donuts.
Like the Davey Millsap
The ones that tape to the bottom of your helmet.
Yeah, the
They
Davey
didn't
Oh,
Millsap.
bro.
have those, but they
That
had
was the thing.
They had the one,
Yeah.
like the one that looks like you're racing go karts.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
almost
yeah.
sure that the one Davey wore was the EVS
Oh,
one. I think.
It was
No.
one. They just put it on his helmet instead of
No,
putting it on his neck.
they had this thing made that went around the bottom of
Millsap's did.
Millsap's helmet.
Oh, I thought
for
he
a
wore
long
the EVS
time.
one.
He did wear that,
Oh.
but I'm saying that for a while they
Oh,
had
okay.
one that was hooked
All
to his
right.
helmet. Anyways,
All right, so this is picks for Arena Cross. We'll go night 1, Friday night in Boise, and then we're gonna do World Supercross tomorrow, 450 or SX1 classes. So, do you guys? Does anybody want to go first? You want me to go first?
I have a hard time putting KP winning. He has
Okay.
not looked
Well, you
good.
don't have to.
No, I mean, like, but I want to because I like
Okay.
KP and I'd love to see him like do. But I'm gonna say he's not. Maybe Brees winning, and then
Okay, so you're doing Arena Cross first.
yeah, Brees and yeah, probably Freezy.
Okay.
And then KP.
All
I
right.
think we have the same shirt on. I just realized that.
Yeah, I did too. It was super weird because that's exact same. Those were my picks for Arena Cross.
I was gonna
Yeah.
make fun of y'all earlier because I was like, I should have worn my RaceTech shirt today.
Huh. I mean, you just want to.
World Supercross tomorrow.
Yeah, probably gonna just be.
You said earlier before the show you were gonna pick Freeze to win.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Freezy. I was
Okay.
gonna pick it. Why not?
For Arena Cross, and he's gonna do both.
No, he's not gonna win Arena Cross. Brees is gonna win Arena Cross.
Yeah.
But
So
Freezy.
wait, hold on. I just realized this. Freeze is
Tomac.
going to be in Abu Dhabi on Wednesday, and then
So he's there now.
They're
They're
gonna
racing
fly.
tomorrow,
racing tomorrow, and then he's flying to go do
Boise. Yep.
dedication.
That's why I don't think he'll win. Honestly, like that's why I didn't pick him to win.
Yeah,
Arena
that's a good
Cross.
point.
Arena
You're gonna have
Cross.
Jet.
And then probably Tomac is his winner.
Probably Tomac. Okay.
and then let's just go Roxon.
The question is does Tomac sweep all 4 races?
I just want to pick.
Right.
I just want Freezy to win something because I feel
Scotty?
bad for him getting treated.
Arena
so bad.
Cross.
Arena Cross. I'm gonna think KP has a rebound, so I'm gonna put him at 1,
Okay.
and then I'll put Brees at 2. And then you made a good point. I was going to pick Freezy to win, but now that he's going from Abu Dhabi to Boise in 2 days, I'm going to say him gets podium 3rd.
Who does? Oh, Freeze.
Freezy.
KP on the 450 just
Because
it's not
they're not. We're talking about the not the one where they race with like Bogle and Hill and all them, right?
Yes.
Yes, Bogle will be
AMA
there. But
Arena Cross.
Bogle is
Yeah,
on
but
the
there's 2
electric bike.
classes.
Oh,
my
I thought you
God.
meant like not the series.
Yeah, no.
Vince doesn't
there's-
race.
Yes, they won't.
We're
They'll
not
be in the
talking
electric
about
class.
Yeah, okay. Well, they have a dash for cash. We're not
What
talking
they
about
call
the
it,
dash
the
for
clash.
No.
is
The
what they call
clash.
it.
We're not.
The
we're not
actual
talking
main
about
event.
the
The
clash.
main
The
event.
actual main event.
Okay, that's my picks.
World Supercross.
Tomac, Savachi, Roxon,
Okay.
You're not even gonna put Vince on the podium. You're such a dick.
and WSX. Yeah, I'm good.
Did that guy? That guy. Just
Yeah, I'm good.
So my
Mistreated.
picks.
He's just mistreated.
Arena Cross
Yeah.
were Brees, Freeze, KP. World Supercross, Eli, Ken, Savachi.
Yeah, those are good picks.
I think they are.
I had to pick. I had to put Vince on top because I said I was going to do it. So.
MotoXpodshow@gmail.com to get entered, to contribute. Do we want to talk about tracks closing before we shut the show down?
I'm so bummed. I don't even know if that's actually what we talked
So-
about.
I was
earlier.
gonna put it on. I was gonna put their night track in one of my favorite places to ride, but it was
I don't
too
even know
soon.
if that's even.
Village Creek. Yeah,
Is-
it
is
sounds
that-
like Village Creek in Texas, Fort Worth, Dallas area.
That may be the
might
longest
closing
running track.
due to a lawsuit. I don't want to get into the whole lawsuit
Swan
thing
is,
so much.
Swan is, but Village
But-
Creek's close.
I'm not going to get into whether you should or shouldn't sue a facility, et cetera, et cetera. What I don't understand
I'm not-
is why do waivers not mean anything?
Because lawyers.
What's the point?
because of lawyers?
Litigation.
I guess so, but it's like, it's just, you literally sign something that says, I know I can get hurt, but then you go, oh yeah, I didn't know I could get hurt.
You know what I hate it the most about it, and this has nothing to do with who or why or whatever.
Yeah.
The lawsuits are going to scare we have friends who have dirt bike tracks that will not just let people ride because they're so worried about somebody
Sure.
to sue, and it makes sense. I get that, but it's so sad that it's that way. Like in New
It does seem
Zealand.
kind of like, what's the point of the? That really is a good question. Like, what's the point of the waiver? Like, Exhibit A, his signature. He signed that. He said he knew he could get hurt.
So, like, if they can prove, so basically, if they can prove that it was somehow your fault for what caused the wreck.
Yeah.
But
I just
like-
got an email too that I think we're going to talk about before we close this thing down. But
okay, real quick,
no,
like New Zealand.
yeah.
A couple things. Here's a couple things that would be across the board. New Zealand, you can't sue for stuff like that. Like lawsuits are ridiculous hard
Frivolous
to do.
lawsuits.
Yeah, and then on top of that, loser pays.
Right. Yeah, I just don't understand why waivers don't seem to mean anything. Well, I mean, I do understand it, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be the way it is.
Yeah.
And I think some things that could come into play with all this is if in order for tracks to stay open with the way things are, prices might go up, more insurance. They may have to,
What you're going to
age
see
restrictions.
What you're going to see is what Three Palms did, where you have to be a member.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a member, you
have to
can't
buy a
sue.
membership,
You have to
yeah.
buy a membership and pay a membership
Fine
fee.
with that.
And normally it's $5 a year, or
Yeah.
$10 a year, but you've
Yeah.
paid in. You can't
Okay.
sue yourself.
That's a good point.
There's going to be a way around that at some point. If there's a way around waivers,
I know.
there'll be a way around that at some point.
I guess
Like,
so.
they'll figure it out. But
yeah.
yeah.
So
well, that's the
anyways.
next until that'll be the next. That'll be the thing that everybody goes to until
Yeah.
that gets abused.
Sure.
Just like the waivers thing got
And
abused.
last thing on this topic,
I remember when you used to just walk up to a track and just throw $10 in a mailbox
That
and
Troll
ride.
MX or whatever.
Yeah.
that place is called.
$5 a Swan, back in the day.
Yeah.
Why don't high schools get sued when a kid gets hurt playing football or baseball? Like, why don't they? Do we ever hear about that?
I don't know.
I haven't ever heard about that.
There's
I broke my leg
lawsuits.
playing-
I'm sure they do, but then the teachers union probably takes care of all
Well,
that. And there's insurance. The only reason why this happened is because the event or the time that the people were out there riding did not have it. And that's why tracks, everybody doesn't like the AMA. I hate the AMA's decisions and all that kind of stuff, but what they do offer is an affordable way for tracks to have insurance. That's why when you go to an event and it's AMA and you're upset because it costs you an extra $40 a year, the reason why tracks do that is because they can get insurance and then they have lawyers to help this from happening.
Okay,
Like when
I'll
Trey
stop complaining on that.
when Trey started when Trey got sued by that worker who passed away at his place.
I was the one who found him.
You were?
Me and my dad. Yeah.
Wow.
Way to bring the show down.
Damn, bummer.
I didn't bring it
I'm all
up.
sad now. But I got questions about that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
but that reason why that lawsuit happened and he was able to sue is because it had nothing to do with the event going on
Yeah.
there.
Okay. So I always ask for emails, criticism. We got some tonight,
Criticism?
like 7
Please
p.m.
be
So 2 hours ago.
criticism.
Tim Hodes, Dark. Here are some topics for consideration for your listeners. 1, whatever happened with RaceTech training classes that you took? I was hoping you would have come back with a bunch of new suspension knowledge on the training.
How about
All
that?
right, so first things first, Tim. I'm going to play this
Tim?
sound drop for
About
you.
that, Tim.
Stop acting like an idiot.
This is for me.
For you.
Don't
yes.
be an idiot. Changed my life.
Tim, I'm an idiot. It was way over my head. I didn't understand it, and I was lost. I was like the kid in calculus class going,
he was sitting there just like,
doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah.
You're not even doing it right.
I know.
Once I got lost
I'm an idiot,
in the
yeah.
first couple hours, I was done, bro.
And that was dark in the training class.
I certainly didn't understand it, man. I was hoping I'd come back with new knowledge too, and I'm an idiot because they're really, really good teachers. They're really, really informative, and a lot of people, everybody in the class got it except for me. I'm just an idiot. I don't know what else to tell you. I feel embarrassed when I read this question a few minutes ago. I didn't want to read it back because I'm embarrassed, but that's the facts. 2, are us motocross riders too picky? We seem to be so hard to please. Lots of complaining. He's right. But I think that's society, but he's right. We get to go ride dirt bikes,
Yeah.
right? Track might be shitty, might be too expensive, etc. We get to go ride dirt bikes. We should be very, very thankful we get to do that.
You're not?
I usually am, but I complain.
When
Sure.
you-
Like,
when you think-
I'm tired, I'm sore, blah, blah, it's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
I understand that. Like, I clearly understand how expensive it is to maintain and keep a dirt bike and to have one, you know, race or ride ready. Like, that's definitely a factor. But if you really look at it, like, it's a lot cheaper to go ride than it is to play golf. And this is, and a golf course is tough to take care of. But, you know, like, there's not like the guys using tractors and stuff and doing a lot of land work to make a track prepped.
Sure.
So the
But
fact
isn't it like $40 to go play golf?
no, 90 to play a good course.
Oh,
I guess it depends on the course.
Like okay,
Yeah.
say to go play like a Buffalo Creek, $45, $50, $60. To go play like a Billadilla, $200, $180, $150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
3. Johnsonville MX is such a great track. Cole and April put in so much work
Yes,
for
they
us
do.
vet riders.
Good track.
What a blessing. April and Cole rock. So I on this one, I'm gonna push back a little bit, Tim. I didn't say anything bad about Johnsonville. I love Johnsonville. It's usually the place I say is my favorite place to go ride. I'm just a little bummed he hasn't changed the track in a while. Cole and April are family, man. I've been going there since it was literally a backyard track with very little there. Like, I love them. I love that place. I just chose to not put it on my list tonight. Okay.
It used to be a lot more intense.
My list had nothing to do with like anything but just like fun places to ride. I just thought some out of the box places because like there's nobody who rides in East Texas that doesn't like Johnsonville.
Yeah. I love Johnsonville.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Or
anyway.
Billa
Yeah.
or any of those tracks.
4. Why are us? This kind of goes back to one we were touched on a little bit, but why are us Moto X riders so cheap? We complain about practice costs going up, but we'll drop $100 on dirt bike bling in an instant. I don't drop $100 on bling in an instant, bro.
No, you get all your stuff for free.
Because you get it for free.
Before I got stuff for free, when I was having to pay for stuff. Yeah, I don't have any. People just don't have money, man. I mean, I don't know what you do for a living, Tim, but like Steve Mathis doesn't understand when people are poor, and people are poor. It's hard to go like, I have $100 for the next 2 weeks to survive. Am I going to go pay $40 in gas and $40 to ride, or am I going to buy groceries? So people complain because we complain. We kind of just talked about that. We're just negative.
Would you not consider little dick number plates as bling?
What are you talking about?
You have little dicks on your numbers.
Everybody has backgrounds.
I think he's talking about spending money like on anodized parts and.
He spent extra money to get a dick on there.
No, I didn't spend extra money. The same number, same price. And actually, hold on. I didn't even buy a graphics kit. I just bought
the numbers,
the backgrounds, because I didn't want to spend the extra money for graphics.
All right, a couple more things here. Well, he's got a bunch more. We might not get to all these tonight.
My KTM is completely blinged out, but that's not bling. it's all the parts that I stole from Doc.
No, what you do is you buy a used bike that somebody.
Like an old vet rider's bike.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Like my bike had all that stuff already on it.
Right.
I love having it on there, but I didn't spend the money to put it on there.
We're going to do one more of these tonight, and then we'll save the other ones for next week, for the next show.
All right.
2 bucket list places to ride moto and enjoy some trails are Monster Mountain MX in Alabama. I've heard that. I've heard that's a great place.
I've heard the Alabama track.
That definitely, I agree. That's a bucket list.
Why do I think they had a race there somewhere?
I think they did.
Yeah, they have a national or amateur
had a few
national or
races
something
there.
like that.
Okay.
Maybe qualifiers?
Did they have a
Probably.
national?
Like areas? They have what?
They didn't
Not
have
a national.
there.
No, you're thinking of Muddy Creek.
Muddy Creek, but no,
That's
I was thinking,
Tennessee.
but they have an amateur national, not pro national. I think they had an amateur national.
Maybe.
there.
Yeah, like
anyways,
Durhamtown Adventure Park in Georgia. He even sent a link. Durhamtown is amazing. They have at least 5 motocross tracks, cabins to rent, RV spots, bikes, UTV
cabins to rent's cool,
and a bunch of trails.
So one of the YouTube
so those
channels
sound like
I watch,
2 bucket list places.
one of the YouTube channels I watch, he builds all kinds of like off-road go-karts and stuff like that. He always takes them to Durhamtown.
Nice. Well,
I didn't know they had moto tracks.
Yeah, I didn't either. So thank you very much for sending those in, especially during the show. We were able to get a little more content out of that. We'll hit the other ones on the next show. As of now, we are doing a show next week. Malcolm Stewart said he would be available next week.
Yeah.
So we'll try to knock that out and then maybe take a couple weeks off. We'll figure that out. But I want to thank Yamaha Motor USA and RaceTech, and I want to thank all of our other sponsors, including X-Brand, Evans Coolant, Guts Racing, T-Bolt USA, Barnett Clutches, ETS Racing Fuels, and EVS. They all make the show go around. I think we're going to have some changes come in pretty soon to the graphics if you're watching on YouTube. I think next week, Scotty, we need to sit and talk. We're going to have a little meeting on Thursday maybe.
Cool.
Kind of learn how all the new stuff. Sean's been kicking some butt. Sean Ogden with Vital is working on making the show look better.
He's my second favorite person at Vital.
Lewis, your first?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't blame you.
Oh, yeah.
I want to thank Caden Dudney, Avery Long, and Caleb Wood for all coming on. Other than that, guys, anything else before we go?
Nope.
You're good? All right, we're out. See you guys in a couple weeks, or probably next week. Actually, sorry, next week.